Hey.
Welcome
Hey, everyone.
to Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry.
Yeah.
It's me and Cam tonight.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Cameron.
I'm Heather.
Hopefully you know this already, but
We're
hey.
gonna try something a little bit different from the last couple of episodes, where Cam and I are gonna work on stuff at the same time because we're both not doing extremely noisy machine industrial things that could potentially to hurt each other
Yeah.
if we were busy working on our own things.
Yeah, exactly. These are very, placid, gentle projects.
Very chill. It'll be a nice, calm evening with, I'm assuming, no bloodshed. I mean, you have a sharp object. I also have sharp objects.
Yep.
Blood could still happen.
Yeah, no, it's traditional. So yeah, I'm going to be working on painting our Hero Quest figures. It was originally going to be the Warhammer Silver Tower set, but as it turns out, the Games Workshop store in Victoria is closed Monday and Tuesday because they have one staff member
Oh. Huh.
who needs 2 days off, apparently.
Well,
So-
I would want 2 days off.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That seems totally fair.
I'm going to be making what are called Zori Sandles, which are a cloth woven sandal in Japan. It's very similar to what you would have seen if you watch like what the Shinigami wear in Bleach,
Okay.
the death gods. They wear straw sandals. These are cloth sandals. Their sandals have a different name, which I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce because it's a longer name.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make mine out of t-shirts.
All right. So, yeah, let's get started. Heather, do you want to lead us off, or?
I just wanted to quickly note, thank you all the awesome people who have subbed so far. We've got about 5 or 6 subs already.
Oh, wow.
And we will go through all the subs at the end or after the commercial, just because it's difficult to break up the crafting with sub welcomes. So
Yep.
just, we have not forgotten you.
All right, so the difficulty I have with my project is the fact that I've only found tutorials in Japanese. This is a book. It's in Japanese. I can't read it. It has some pictures, though, so I'm going to try and follow those a little bit, except not. I've decided I don't like some of their methodology. So I'm going to make it harder on myself and just do whatever I want.
YOLO.
Oh, I found like some video tutorials on YouTube, which were also all in Japanese. I tried to put subtitles on,
Yeah.
and I tried to tell it to auto-translate.
Yeah.
It cannot auto-translate those subtitles very well.
Oh.
It looked like a person working on a craft, but saying very political, governmental, secret things. I'm like, this is not helpful.
Maybe they were.
They might have been, I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually like a coded transmission. It's very V for victory. So what I'm doing right now is,
I got a shot. Sorry, I'm going to be talking to Paul a lot. Sorry.
let's see if I can
You can ignore Beach.
bring it up here on the camera where I am. Blah. Oh God, it's slipping.
Overhead camera.
Do you want me to hang
Overhead
on to it?
camera? Okay. What I'm doing is getting rid of the forge lines, the seam lines on these figures. And I'm doing that just by carving them off with a number 11 X-Acto knife here. And then after that, I'm going to go over them with some fine grit sandpaper. So I'm working on a mummy right now, who's one of the bigger, more intimidating monsters in... sorry, Peach, I'm making this very hard on you. In Hero Quest. But it was kind of near the top of the pile, and I've already completed like a lot of the preliminary work on the hero characters, and we'll get to them later once, we just go through the process. So really what you want to do when you're starting off painting a figure is you want to clean off all the mold lines, the places where the sprue connected with it, make sure that it's sanded down and cleaned up. Then what you actually want to do is take it to a sink with a little bit of like gentle detergent and a toothbrush and scrub away all of the mold release agent and finger oils from it, which will give a nice, again, clean surface on which the next layer, primer, will stick. Priming the miniature, because these are essentially, frozen gasoline, water-based paint might have a hard time sticking to them. And so you use an intermediate layer called primer, which sticks to the plastic and gives kind of a porous surface on which paint can stick. So we'll be going through all those steps, and then later on we'll get actually painting.
So what I'm going to show the audience, the chat, is how to make some t-shirt yarn so I can weave my sandals. I did a bunch of this earlier today because I didn't want to spend all night doing it. But, so what you need to do is to take a t-shirt. Preferably, I've been told on the tutorials I saw that you want one without any side seams because it makes the length a lot nicer, but I cut one up with side seams because I didn't care, and I don't think it'll matter so much for what I'm doing with the sandals. It might matter more if I was using it to knit or crochet. This apparently is also the same technique used to make what people refer to as plarn, just plastic yarn made out of plastic bags. So you fold the t-shirt almost in half. And then what you want to do is cut off the bottom hem. It's not your friend, you don't want it. It needs to go away.
Why?
It's garbage. It's not your friend, it's garbage, it needs to go away.
Man, I had that speech given to me once. It was about an actual human, though.
Oh no. And I do find, like, the tutorials I watched, because they were making their pieces only about an inch long, wanted about an inch difference from the fold over. I'm making mine wider, so because I did test this, you do actually want to have about the same amount of space left over top on the fold that you're going to have the pieces, and you'll see why when I get to that point. But for now, I picked the wrong ruler. How big was I making these again? Sure. That big. I'm making them that big now. You're just gonna cut along through the first layer, but not just past it into the next one, but you're not gonna cut up to the top. They use boards and measuring. I'm just gonna flip it over so it's roughly the same size and follow that as my guideline. I wasn't joking when I said I didn't care for their methods and just decided to do whatever I wanted.
The mark of any good experienced crafter.
She's gone rogue.
Open up the recipe, go, okay, I like where this is going. We can get rid of all these, though.
I don't need this to be exact.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hey Cam, the chat is curious about what your beer is.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it is a Tranquility IPA from Moon Underwater Brewery. It is grapefruity, mild. Well, it's actually reasonably hoppy, but it's not like face-peelingly hoppy like a Fat Tug IPA. It's friendly. It's friendly, I guess is what I'm getting at.
So now that I've gotten to just about under the armpit, I am going to cut it all the way through, because I'm not going to be able to make this top part a continuous strand. This t-shirt, by the way, was a freebie from Coca-Cola. It was recycled from pop bottles or something. I'm never going to wear it. So now that I've done that, take this apart. And we've got everything attached still, which we're going to fix because we want this to be one big piece of string. Put this on my arm, and then this would actually be more useful from top cam. What we're going to do is cut diagonally from the side over to this point, and then do that from every bottom to side. This is why you want your the top part of the t-shirt that you don't fold over to be about the same length, because now the strand is about the same length even though it's going diagonal. If you make it too short, what you'll get is straight, and then it'll be really thin and then larger again, and it's not consistent. I found that out the hard way earlier this afternoon. I left all my prep work till today.
The hard way is the best teacher. I mean, except for every other teacher, really. But it's the most effective one, I think, at least in my experience. Okay, actually, Paul, could you do me a favor? Paul is over on tech today. Could you put a straw poll up for me, please, with 4 entries, and have one read Barbarian.
So one for each of the...
Yeah, one for each of the hero figures. Barbarian, Dwarf, Elf, and Wizard. And I'm going to ask chat to decide who they want to see painted first, or at least a first crack at painting first. Well, I get this mummy cleared up.
So now that I've got the strand, it doesn't look like my yarn yet, which is more thin. I don't know why I keep holding up the black one when I'm wearing a black t-shirt here. I'll wear the blue one. So it's thinner. That's because I've stretched it. T-shirt being a knit material will try and stretch in on itself. Oh, maybe when it's made out of pop bottles it won't. Oh no, it's not bad. It's fine. I'm just going to pull it and stretch it. And that will cause it to curl in on itself and make it, I'm assuming, more pleasant to work with. I don't know, I've never actually worked with t-shirt yarn. I'm basing this all off of tutorials I watched for 5 minutes and then decided good enough.
YOLO.
You're just jamming your thumb in there, applying pressure?
Mostly just stretching it. My thumb's going on the inside are incidental. You wouldn't do this with plastic bags. This would wreck all your plastic.
So aside from obviously the reusing cheapness, what is the advantage to t-shirt yarn?
Well, because it's made out of a knit material, you don't have to serge it or use pinking shears.
Okay, I always was curious about what pinking shears are for. My mother used to use them, and they're they're the serrated scissors, right?
Yeah, I think
They look like they must be a nightmare to have sharpened. Can you even get them sharpened?
I don't know if you can get them sharpened, but yeah. So they have the zigzags,
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
and what they do is when you cut into fabric, they make the zigzag pattern, and what you want, you would never use these on knit fabric because there's no point.
Okay.
You would use them on woven fabric that would fray.
Okay.
And because it's made a back and forth, it's harder for the threads of the fabric to
unravel.
Oh, so
okay,
that's what they're
okay.
for. It's kind of like because when you serge, like that's just using a lot of thread to make it
Reinforced?
finished.
Finished.
Okay.
But you can also just do a normal zigzag stitch on the end, and it's just another way to stop it from coming apart.
Okay. I used those on paper once.
Oh, and then what happened?
My mother was sad.
Yeah. My dad once used a pair of embroidery scissors to cut wire.
Ooh.
That's about the most I've heard of that story.
That's when I blacked out.
He doesn't remember anything else that happened that day.
I don't know why you'd use embroidery scissors for wire. That's insane.
They probably don't even do a good job.
No, not likely. Stretch this the other way too.
All right. So I've got this mummy more or less cleared up. Now what you would do at this point is take it to the sink and brush it down to get any kind of oils off of it. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get up. So this guy's actually quite interesting because the bandages, the bandage wrapping gives it a lot of like flat edges. So it's kind of also scalloped, really. That made it a lot easier. So now I'm going to move on to figures that I have cleaned up, brushed down, and primed already, which are the hero figures. So we've got our barbarian. Do you want to go to overhead cam, or what would be best for this?
Sure, let's look at what the overhead cam.
Yeah. So we've got barbarian, dwarf, elf, and wizard. So that is my paint and water. This is my beer. So any results in from the straw poll yet, Paul?
Yeah, so far the wizard is definitely in the lead
Okay.
with 70 versus 40. Oh, looks like 80 versus 40. Which is the next most likely. Which
Okay.
is the
Well, let's let it
dwarf,
go.
because I didn't spell dwarf correctly.
Let's let it go for another 30 seconds or so, or a minute. And I've primed this with white primer because this is a tabletop set. It is also one that kind of needs to be visible on camera, and white primer generally helps colors to pop a bit more, whereas black primer will take care of a lot of like natural shading. But I really wanted these to be kind of like very bright, very kind of like late 70s, early 80s D&D cover illustration, almost a little loopy looking.
I saw another question I saw coming up is, would this process be any different if they were like pewter models as opposed to?
Yeah, pewter models, well, not really. The basic steps are the same. On pewter, I'm not even sure if many companies are using pewter anymore because it got so expensive. Most companies I know are using injection molded plastic, like this set. Resin, which is like a two-part kind of almost epoxy mixture that is useful on very small scales, like kind of garage kit scales. But yeah, you would, basically the difference is that you would also be using a file. Although pewter and on even older figures like lead figures, the material is soft enough that you can still take it down with a knife and sandpaper. The primer is also largely the same.
So here's something I learned today. Pill bottles have yarn uses.
Really?
Yeah. You can buy like these wooden, essentially butt plug looking things to roll your yarn together.
Shouldn't it be tapered?
Real name?
I don't know the real
The
name.
nostopine. Nostopine.
That doesn't sound any better than butt plug.
No, nostopine is what it's called.
Fine. A nostopine.
But you could also just get a pill bottle.
You put a little bit of the beginning inside. You close it. Might have to widen this out for that to work. Come on. And then you wrap it around diagonally. And what this does is it makes a center pole yarn ball, which all that really means is if I want, it will pull out from the middle and not have to unravel the ball and go flying.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, one of those. See, it looks like a butt plug.
No, yeah, that's right. I mean, it could use a little more taper on the end.
Yeah, a little more safety.
Some people just aren't that adventurous. And you put this in under here, push this out, undo the safety lid. There you go. Yarn ball. I don't know if this works with real yarn because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that was definitely Cam's teeth colliding with the glass. I didn't know that chat could hear that.
That microphone picks up a lot.
It
Uh,
might be better to have the webcam pointed back towards you, because otherwise it just gets a lot of the room
Right.
behind the whatever you're painting.
Thank you, Beach.
You're welcome.
Beej and I are supposed to be invisible. No one should see us.
We're actually here.
I mean, I'd believe that, except he can't not help his curiosity. Whoa!
It's fine. Everything's fine.
So the best part with priming your figures is that it reveals all the seam lines that you missed. So,
Do you redo it?
no, you just live with it forever. Forever. Because the primer is now on the figures forever. So, here we are. You know what? It's okay. Shh. We're just gonna zip that right off. We're gonna zip that right off. It's there. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. It's fixed. It's fine. You know, we might have to do a bit more paint there. We might have to be a bit more careful, but really it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
So I thought I'd at least tell the chat what the book wants me to do, which is to have a hanger bend the ends so they go up. Which I don't really, since I'm not using, the hanger's my backup plan, which is more why I brought it, but I don't want to bend it yet if I don't have to. But essentially you bend the ends up. They want you to put it on a suction cup on the table, which I think is a little silly when you can just take an over-the-counter door hanger and like put it on the edge of the table, then put your coat hanger there. I'm actually thinking you probably don't even need to use the coat hanger so much as you could just use the hooks on this. But I'm not going to do that unless the thing I'm going to try doing fails really badly.
So you've got like 3 different backup plans here. That's good. I like
Just a
that.
couple.
Contingencies.
By the way, Cam, looks like the wizard is the overall favorite by quite a large margin.
All right. Well, that is good. We can begin work on the wizard then. Now, if you're familiar at all with the Hero Quest box art, which is our really only color picture of these figures, you will know that the wizard looks like an explosion at the Clown Factory. He's wearing like blue tights with a white tunic, red gloves. I don't even know if the color of his cloak is clear. I want to say it's red.
Let me just
But his tunic also has, like, I think blue stars embroidered on it. Or, no, moons, sorry.
Wait, do you have to paint tiny moons on his cloak?
No, we don't have to do anything.
Are you going to paint tiny moons on his cloak?
No. No,
Okay.
I think that would be ugly. Also, because fabric is difficult to get to look good at this scale. Like light operates, or our eyes, when things scale up or down, they look different, as it turns out. And to get to look correct, you need to kind of play with the scale. And I've forgotten how to do that since it's been a long time since I've even worked on a miniature. I used to know how to do it. Then I got old. So I kind of want all of these guys to look not like they're wearing a uniform at all, because I think that's bland, but to have a unified look in some way. And I think it would work nicely if they were all kind of, if they shared certain colors in common to indicate that they were of, collective purpose. So what I thought we could do is the barbarian would have like body paint of some kind, since otherwise he's in Conan mode and is only wearing like a fur loincloth and boots. The dwarf, I think, might look good with like, he does have clothes underneath his chainmail shirt, and is wearing some kind of gambeson underneath his chainmail. The wizard is all decked out in cloth, so that's easy enough to choose from. And the elf is also all in cloth, so we can have quite a lot of freedom there. So really, the wizard is going to be the one with the most obvious look to him. And how do we want this to go? Really? Oh yeah, the wizard has a mega codpiece going on. Like, dude is...
Wait, let me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's coming at you in 3D.
I didn't realize we were streaming in VR.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude is swinging pipe. So either that or he's wearing a cup, which, seems fair enough.
The wizard staff.
Does the fact that you're the one who's been playing the wizard in the HeroQuest games, does that affect your decision on how to paint it at all?
Yeah, probably. I mean, how do I want this guy to look? This is not a trivial question. I mean, we'll be stuck with this for a while unless I do what I usually do with my figures, which is, complete them and then look at them and go, and strip them.
You want loading ready colors?
Like the source of the blue was going to be loading ready run. So like, but I don't want it to be like the two-tone, which I'm not convinced works for clothing so well.
So brown or russet.
Yeah, like I want muted colors, but I want the what colors there are to really like pop.
Red ochre is like one of those things that they would have had like medievally, right? Like really dark.
Yeah, well, like the classic like medieval dyes would have been things like carmine, and I think indigo. Saffron would have been available, but it would have been very expensive. Purple dyes existed, but would have been expensive.
Turmeric.
Yeah, but then again, this is a guy who throws fireballs, so I mean, maybe we can just make dyes happen. Lapis lazuli, ultramarine, yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, saffron was worth more than its weight in gold.
The agony of choice.
Yeah. So, okay. give me a moment, and I'm going to think about this some more. I gave this a bit of thought earlier on, and that's when I decided that yes, they should be blue as a unified look. But now, confronted by it, I'm trying to think of exactly what it would look like completed.
So for those of you wondering, what I'm going to attempt using is a knit and weave loom kit that I've had for a little while. It's by Martha Stewart and Line Brand and whatever. It's essentially just a kit that comes with a lot of pieces where you can assemble your loom to be whatever kind of weirdness you want. So you can get a variety of sizes, because I didn't want to have solid plastic looms. And when I was looking some stuff up online, I saw that some people were using essentially like some pegs to act as a weaving board for the shoe. I looked at those pictures for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to look at them again, so I'm going to assume I know what I'm doing. The pegs I currently have in here are to just keep the frame in place from sliding. I'm going to add more pegs and hopefully do it right from memory.
Never forward.
Never learning.
I like the way that you're taking this. It's not only like you have to do this thing, but it's like you're doing it also as like a challenge to do it without looking at the instructions.
It's way more fun that way. That way, if I'm doing it wrong, I don't have to look at the instructions and be like, oh, I'm clearly doing this wrong. I can just be like, well, if I fudge it enough, it'll be fine.
That's right. Add enough fudge to anything, and it becomes delicious.
Needs it.
All right.
Good enough.
At the very least, I know that I want the leather on these guys to be kind of a reddish leather. So I can paint his gloves and boots right now, I think, as well as his belt. I think I want his cloak to be more of a bright red, just because I think it's a very, vibrant color. And then we'll go mainly with the box art, but try to, we'll fly the box art colors, I think is what I'm getting at here. And see how good we can make them look.
And then maybe...
Back in the box.
Yes. Cam, can you actually just give us a quick rundown of what's in your box here?
Okay, wow.
Quick rundown.
Quick rundown. A quick rundown of what's in my box. Okay, so I've got a razor saw here, which I use for sawing mainly things like resin pieces from their molds. 2 pairs of side cutters. One is much older than the other. I have a spare box of number 11 X-Acto blades. I have many brushes. I have a couple of pieces of sandpaper. I have a pin vise. I have some sculpting tools, both in metal and softer Teflon tip or silicon tip. Molding tools for working with green stuff, which is a 2-part epoxy which can be used as a gap filler or as a sculpting tool. I have some decal setting solution, additional drill bits, many different colors of paint, including like ancient Citadel color paints, which are still good. Kind of the early 2000s era paint that Games Workshop produced. I have a very precious jar of flesh wash, which is an ink color that Games Workshop produced that they no longer produce. I've long since run through my bottle of Deadly Nightshade, which was a gorgeous dark blue gray color that is long since out of production. And then I've got my model paints, which are Vallejo model colors. And more Vallejo colors, these are the game colors, which are more for tabletop game use. So there you go.
Beautiful box also.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a gift. I think it may have been a Christmas or birthday present. So what you really want is to get your paint. I'm using just like a backing board, a comic book backing board in a bag as a palette. And this is one I've had for a while, seen me through a couple of projects, but the beauty of these things is they're basically disposable. And I have gotten some Citadel Blood Red on my palette with a lot of water until it basically has the consistency of milk. And you can draw your paintbrush through it, forming a nice sharp point. And this is a, oh God, this is so covered in paint I can't even make out the size anymore. But it's a Citadel brush. I mean, they were available.
So are Citadel's good paints then?
They're fine, actually. They're totally reasonable paints. I think people kind of give Games Workshop a lot of shit for the quality of their products, but they're honestly pretty fine.
I found the end.
I'm actually going to mix this red paint with a bit of Citadel Flesh Wash to give it more of a leathery color. And we'll try using that as a base coat for the hands and boots.
I got this from the dollar store. It's called Hollow Braid Polyrope. It apparently is really good for outside, and it floats. So I'm hoping these shoes that I make will let me walk on water. I don't think that will work, but hey.
So what is the rope for?
I'll get there.
Okay.
I think. It was cheap. No, helping me will not help me. I'm gonna use my paper scissors and not my nice fabric scissors. Because I don't care what happens to my paper scissors.
We have other scissors.
Do you have specific rope scissors?
Yes.
Well, it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If everything I remember is right, I tie this over here. Do we have any masking tape?
Yeah.
Or tape?
Favorite color?
No, I don't. Paul was really correct about how this is not good for knots.
It's a good thickness.
Sure. I got the loom from Michael's. Basically, any place that sells line brand yarn and stuff should carry it. It's a Martha Stewart branded thing. Okay. Put this here. Ha. Can't defy me now.
No turning back.
Okay. I think this is correct. More like that. Sure. Actually, this is not helpful.
Intentional?
Yeah, I did that intentionally. I'm aware of how gravity works. This rope is not cooperative.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I want to struggle on my own. So what I'm doing is putting what the rope is for is essentially like the outside of the shoe, but stuff will be wrapped around it. So it's going to help provide structure. So what I'm attempting to do is put it on the loom. Maybe I'll just stick another stick in there. This one. To stick. Pink for variety. Put that there, put that there. This is supposed to be my, I think it's supposed to be the warp. I think that's what they call it.
There's a warp and a wend?
Weft.
Weft.
Although the video one of the videos I watched kept translating weft as woof,
Huh.
Yeah.
and it was really funny. I don't know if that's just another word for it or not. I can't. The guy seemed really knowledgeable.
It was gaslighting you.
Could have been. I made this rope way too long for what I want to do.
Got lots of rope cut it up.
I'll get there.
Weft, woof, and wend are all synonyms.
Oh,
That really
I didn't
clears
know
that
when
shit up.
was
I didn't know they were synonymous.
neat. I just thought it was bad translation. What does this picture look like? Rope's too long.
Beej,
Yes.
could I ask you to go and get one of the HeroQuest box tops
Yes.
for me?
Just think of it, actually.
Why?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, yes, so he does have a red cloak. All right, let's go clown mode.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, let's do it. Good taste? What's good taste? Have you guys ever seen any of the recreations of Greek or Roman statues or home decorations.
Oh yes.
Where they've
Revealed the.
yeah, where they've taken like these gorgeous marble statues that have been kind of like dug up or recovered in some way from classical archaeological sites, and they're just beautifully carved marble statues, and somebody did surface analysis of them because you can identify the dyes that were used to paint them, and they're so offensively tacky. It's amazing. Like, oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that people only became sensitive to color in the last couple hundred years. Because, it was hideous. They're hideous. They're awful. No wonder. Like, if I was a Mongol or a Goth and I was invited to Rome and I saw that shit, I'd want to kill them all too. Right? I get it. I get it. The Gauls were like, no.
And they only had so much in the way of actual natural dyes and paints to use, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like they had like purples and blues and stuff.
Yeah, they went out of their way.
Yeah. It's like, no, there's gonna be a lot of yellow, a lot of red, a lot of pink.
Yeah, they did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Color theory is a real thing.
What, like grayscales and stuff?
Like, no, like, how complementary and contrasting and
Yeah.
yeah.
Get
Yeah.
in clamp.
They didn't believe in color theory.
There. In clamp.
Point being, this wizard, he paid for all these colors. He's going to wear all these colors.
Just gonna start taping stuff down to the table now.
I mean, the wizard doesn't have much money to spend, or doesn't have anything to spend money on anyway in Hero Quest.
That's true, so he might as well just get, like,
Yeah.
some fancy clothes.
Yeah, because like the wizard has nothing, right? There are no items that the wizard can blow money into. Might as well buy a new cloak after every session. The last one got some dwarf on it. And once again, you want to get your paints as thin down as possible, because the primer coat will pick up the color, will house the color, and you just want to make sure that you're obscuring basically nothing with the paint, because paint will cake on and cover detail, so you want to make that process as minimal as possible.
Okay, I think I can start. Sure.
Yep, thin your paints. Thin your goddamn paints, son.
What happens if you don't thin them?
You can go on, actually, if you go on eBay and look up Pro Painted OOP, you can see what happens when you don't thin your paints. That's an old-timey Warhammer joke.
Before you start on that there, Heather, maybe we should take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Just at that point. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing with Tinker Tailor Solder Fry as we, Heather makes a pair of sandals and I make a mess of these miniatures.
Sorry, Peach gave me candy. It's really chewy.
Could we get just a quick update on your various statuses of your projects?
Starting with Cam.
Okay, well, I have primed, or cleaned, trimmed, primed the Hero Quest hero figures. I primed them white so the colors pop, and I have painted the reddish tinted leather that the wizard is wearing. And we are going to be painting them up basically like the box art shows, because it's actually kind of rad art in a hideous sort of way. And I don't know, I think it suits the game quite well.
So I've attempted to set up my loom. It might work. If it doesn't, I will pull out that coat hanger. I'm gonna start weaving the t-shirt yarn into it. As you can, this piece of yarn, this was done with a with a t-shirt that had the side seams. So this is probably why you don't want. If I can get a close up on
You can see the seam. Yeah, sorry.
that, you can see the seam will be on the outside because of the way it turns in, which I don't think will be a problem for this project, but might be why you don't want to do this for like yarn you're going to crochet with. That could be messy. Guess I just tie it on. Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Yes? My pegs are all in the way now. This may not have worked as a plan. What did they do? I can't tell from these pictures. That here. I will make you work.
Hmm?
I got the paint.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm telling Paul.
So like most of Games Workshop, although this is technically not a GW product, it was GW designed, I believe, and the miniatures are Citadel miniatures. They are in kind of GW's what has now been dubbed 28mm heroic scale, which means they have enormous heads and hands, like just the size of canned hams, and it makes the body language of the figures easy to read at large scales, and it makes their kind of it makes for very kind of like emotive figures when it's done well. These are very early examples of them. And what I'm doing here is I've mixed in a little Vallejo, just white, into my mixture of red and flesh wash. And I'm beginning to highlight. Very easy with the gloves. This lets you create much more definition than the figure would have otherwise. Now, wait. Pulling out stray bristles from my brush.
Is the only difference between like a paint and a wash just how watered down it is, or is it actually a different thing?
A paint is made up of 3 components. The pigment is probably the most obvious one. That is the component that gives it its color. The second component is the body, which is just like the liquid medium for the paint. A third component in paint is I forget what it's called, but it makes it opaque. And it gives the pigment something to stick to. A paint has those 3 components, right? whereas a wash only has the pigment and the medium, at least as far as I understand. So a wash is transparent.
Giving up. Using coat hangers. Still gonna not follow the thing correctly, but I'll use the coat hanger.
The tempting thing to do here is to actually begin light sourcing from his hand, where the wizard is obviously trying to cast a spell, or casting a spell. Hero Quest wizards don't attempt to cast, they just do.
Yeah.
And I have done a lot of light sourcing on my Warhammer 40k miniatures. Kind of the classic light source in 40k is like the eyes and hands of battle psychers and the coils of plasma weapons. Both of which I've done, both of which look cool. I think I'm past the point where I should have begun planning for that, though. Oops, lol. Maybe with Silver Tower, we'll have more opportunities. So this will just be the process. A long, not arduous, but exacting process. As we highlight his fingertips, the tips of the folds on his boots, the tips of the belt, any ridges, any shadows. We can really make the miniature come to life like this. Any questions from chat that I'm missing?
What are you drinking?
Got that one already.
Good.
I promise you he's not drinking the paint water.
Yet.
One thing I remember from my days of painting is that that I could never really do properly. But you look at like the the heavy metal crew.
Oh yeah, Games Workshop's heavy metal painters.
They're in-house guys.
Yeah.
And to me, what always was like the epitome of amazing, paint work was being able to paint somebody wearing a white white fabric.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Because then you're doing your shading and you're highlighting white.
Yeah, that's really tricky because
I can never quite get that.
if you shade white with gray, it winds up looking very dingy. So you can shade white with light blue. You can shade it with a tan color, and there are various other ways to shade white in ways that kind of evoke fabric, but it's tricky. Like a white shirt doesn't shade gray, right? Mm-hmm. It picks up the color of whatever's around it. And it makes it an utter mother to actually paint.
Pigment, vehicle, and binder.
Pigment, yes. Binder, that's the one. Thank you, Beach.
You're welcome. It's not me. It was Aziraphale.
Okay, yeah.
Aziraphale's shop.
Well, thank you very much.
Aziraphale's shop.
Chad is slightly concerned about the proximity of your beer to your.
I am an old salt, and I only drink my paint water once or twice a session.
All right.
It's a proud tradition among painters that you paint you drink your brush water several times.
Really?
No, well, I mean, it's just.
Is it just something that happens?
It's an inevitability. I don't know if seamstresses, sewer people, cutters, tailors have that kind of thing, like where you just kind of accept a certain amount of fuck-ups as the cost of doing business, or comical fuck-ups.
Oh, well, I mean, in that way, it's more like sticking yourself with pins or...
Yeah, like the one that my mother always used to do was she would get her thumb under the sewing needle.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's not generally a thing that
an
they all
everyday
do.
thing?
That's not an everyday thing.
Okay, that's for special occasions?
Yes. Very special occasions.
That's when you really want to feel alive.
I think that only happened once or twice, but yeah, I remember it.
Oh, that's not a thing you forget.
The concern is less the drinking of the paint water
And
or
more-
the dipping the brush in the beer.
Right. Well, they're all acrylic paints, so they're mostly non-toxic. So don't even worry about it, chat.
It's fine.
It's fine.
That's when you go like, this beer has certain extra little flavor to it. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, it turns out it's blood red.
Got someone's name right.
The pronunciation? Well done. The other trick with highlighting red is that usually to highlight you add white. When you add white to red, you get pink, which is almost an entirely different color. Like I mean, like, yeah, lol, pink is a different color than red, but it looks materially different.
We have other clamps, Heather.
Do we?
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to find them.
I
Where
brought
did
a
you
pen
see-
clamp.
Just right by the first aid box or kit there.
It's not a good clamp I brought. It's a kitchen clamp with a magnet on it, so you can put receipts on your fridge.
Ah,
And hooks.
I need something with area.
These are big pinchies. They're lovely.
now I'm encountering every forge line I missed when I was cleaning this guy off. And everyone hurts me. Everyone causes me physical pain. Another thing with highlighting figure is that you're not just highlighting the ridges that are there, you're also highlighting for dramatic effect.
I'm gonna cut this down because the other problem I'm having is it's too long. It's too much work.
Wow. That's hardly ever an issue, generally.
Well, not for like crochet because you grab, or knitting because you grab the thing, but because you're weaving, you have to put the whole thing through.
What kind of primer do you use, Cam?
I was using a Tamiya model airplane primer.
I have heard of Tamiya.
Hmm.
I don't even do that much in modeling, but I've heard of
They make a lot of different products for working with models, figures, remote control cars.
Yeah, that's one of their big things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume this is
There-
what the picture wants me to do because it's like, do this. Next picture. It's done. Ah! I'm assuming the written instructions tell me more, but I can't read them.
Oh.
Do you want me to show that on camera, or?
Nope.
Okay.
Is that like Ben Edlund's directions on drawing the tick? Where he's
Yeah.
like, draw an oblong oval. Draw a line bisecting the narrow end of the oval. Draw the tick holding an oval bisected between its...
I love that.
See, annoying thing about shoes, socks, anything that comes in pairs is it comes in pairs.
So you finish one,
And then you're only half done.
you're on the hook for,
Another
yeah,
one.
miserable.
I'm starting to see the appeal of the other method of this, where you have a really long rope, and you essentially loop it around your toes,
Oh yeah.
and you sit on the ground.
Huh.
Someone was actually mentioning in the chat that they had made shoes that way. They had done it that way.
Yeah. I didn't know if that would really work for our camera setup.
For this setup,
was
that
the
would be a little
problem.
that would be a little tricky. Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's fine. I'll do this table method, and it will be amazing. Lies.
There's a lot more text here than I thought there was.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat has offered to translate it if we can get a copy of the book, like if we can scan the book or something. But
I mean, this
that
is
doesn't
not.
seem likely.
It's not beginner level either. Like, if you're fluent, you'll nail it. Though it is funny because I mean, it's making. They don't count. Like, you know how we'll be like A B C D, right? So they don't do that. They do A I U A O, the 5 primary vowels to name each one of the lines here. So A I U A has already been named, and it tells you U to E no, and then I can't read the rest because it's there's lots of kanji. Kanji himono, kanji kara, kanji mi himono, and it just keeps going. It's like, yeah, I can't make any sense of that.
Red Helvetica Cake, who has made one, says your legs go to sleep real fast.
Oh, I don't doubt that. It just seems like it's a little easier to hold the rope taunt than this method.
Is the legs going to sleep a selling feature? Like, don't worry about it. It hurts at first, then your legs fall asleep,
I mean, it seems okay to me.
and then you really pick up the speed at that point.
So is the yellow outline, is that like supposed to be like the size of your foot or the rough outline of your foot in terms of size, or is it?
From what I can tell, you're mostly just trying to make kind of an oval shape.
Okay. I guess it's because it's soft, it kind of curves around your foot to some extent, eh?
Yeah, like what I'm doing right now is I'm only going through the side and the other side and around the outsides. I'm not going through the middle yet. And the book doesn't tell me to do it that way. It tells me to go through the middle. But other tutorials I've watched start by not using the middle. They kind of count it as one string, and then once you get a little bit further on, you start going through the middle as well to kind of make the edge thinner. At least that's what I think they were saying.
Some of the chat says, first make an oval and then make sandals.
Thanks, Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
I got a shot of her weaving here if you'd like it.
I shall.
They have on the Germany Etsy blog a guy doing this, and he's speaking in English. He also does the sitting method. So I kind of understood what he was doing, but he does it a lot differently as well. Like, he goes partway through and then he turns it around, and because he adds his sandal strap into the weaving, whereas a lot of people do it
Take that
after.
towards the camera a bit, just so everyone can see the detail.
That.
Oh, wow.
He's actually turning out okay
They look beautiful.
right now. Start going like.
Cam, do you find it better to like what you're doing now, where you do all the red and then do all the highlighting of the red, and then presumably you're going to do the next color and then do all the highlighting, like as opposed to doing like all the flats and then doing all the highlighting?
Yeah, it's much easier to ensure a kind of continuity of color if you do a color and do all the highlighting of that color first, because the paint will dry on your palette long before you can come back to the original color if you try to do like all the base coats at the same time. And sometimes you blend up a really nice color that is not easy to reproduce. So generally, I find it best to work on one thing until it's complete.
You both normally listen to music while you craft?
Yes. Well, I do.
Yeah.
Can't answer for Heather.
Yeah, generally. I depends what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, but if I'm trying to do something that requires a lot of thinking, I either stop listening to the podcast or I forget what I'm doing. There's certain podcasts I just can't listen to unless that's the only thing I'm doing.
Yeah, the temptation to grab my headphones is quite strong, but I feel that would be rude.
I feel like this is not going to be as wide as I need it to be. Oh well, ever forward. Maybe I'll change colors.
Is that our motto, ever forward, never learn?
Yeah, seems
Okay.
to be.
Never learning. We use the gerund.
Okay, okay.
Because it's a continuous process.
Yeah.
A lack of learning.
I like that. I'm in favor of that. Never learning is a lifelong process.
Well, especially the way we do it.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you can make never learning last the rest of your life. Depending on what you're doing.
All right, and there's a third part that's kind of unofficial. Safety third. This is the third thing on the list, I hope.
Alphabetical, right?
I mean, it'll fall in rank once we find other things to fill in between.
The motto's going to get really long.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where we just occasionally switch out mottos. We never forget the other ones, it's just we don't say them all the time.
You know what? This brush is pissing me off. This brush is mega dead. Looking at it now, I can see it has seen some shit.
Like it's gone to war.
Yeah, kind of, but the bristles are all different lengths, which explains some difficulty I've been having with it. I have not taken very good care of this brush.
Will it make it through the stream?
No, I think it's actually dead now.
What do?
They are tools. They live, they fall.
But do you keep using it? Do you have a different one?
Oh, I have a different one. Slightly smaller. The man with the brush with the bristles advances. The man, hold on, how would this go? The shit with the post advances. When the shit with the post gets banned, the meme picks up the shit post and keeps posting.
Right.
So I'm just going to bring back some more of the flesh wash, blend it in.
You keep saying flesh wash. What is that?
It is this color.
Oh, it's
It
a
is called
specific color.
flesh wash.
Okay.
And it is kind of a very, like, I guess, nut brown, dark brown color that's very rich. It's good for leather, and also good for skin, as the name implies.
You just lighten it until you reach until you reach like Caucasian, or you can darken it. Or is it
Well, it's
start
for
from
shading. It's
Oh,
for
I see.
shading.
Yeah, that's the wash part.
Yeah. There are no persons of color in fantasy, right?
Actually, I was impressed when I was looking at Silver Tower.
Yeah.
The priest, the priest of Sigmar is black.
Nice.
So that may be the first black person in Warhammer.
Wow. I never really understood
It
that.
isn't like a demon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that would make...
Yeah, there are black dragons, right? But you couldn't have black people. That would be
No,
unrealistic.
exactly. I mean, that's your representation, right?
Yeah.
You can be a dragon.
I mean, I already am a dragon.
So a monster. That's what you're telling me.
You're a dino bear.
I am also a dino bear.
Yes.
I add things to the list of what I am like every week, Peach. Last week I was a magical girl.
I like someone is suggesting flesh wash is just a good name for soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh shit, that's some man soap right there.
I'm just gonna go into the bathroom and use
Apply
some,
some flesh wash.
Hey,
flesh
hey
wash.
guys, we're out of flesh wash. Can we get some more? I need to really wash my flesh.
Yeah, somewhere there's an alternate universe where we picked up a Games Workshop, or we all got into Warhammer instead of Magic.
I mean, I think
And
I'd be
those
more
are the
behind
kind of
you
yeah,
for Warhammer than Magic.
those are the jokes that we make in that world.
So would it be Tuesday nights instead, I guess?
Maybe, yeah, I forget what.
Apparently Monday.
Oh, was it Monday? They're
don't
closed Mondays.
Yeah, they're closed
Yeah, because
Mondays.
everyone's playing.
Oh, I see.
No, because their one staff member has to get a day off.
I mean, that does seem fair to me.
Yeah.
That's just bad staffing. That's
Does anyone
Get
have
more
any
staff.
idea why Games Workshop might be having some money flow problems? Anyone? No? Okay, well, Dave, you can go back to manning the stores.
Someone has suggested an alternate universe week of streaming. I don't see how that's any different than what we would normally be doing, other than Lure MTG would not be a thing anymore.
Yeah. In Lure AU, we yell at chat.
We're generally rude and
I mean,
what? I don't like
guess-
this. I don't like this AU.
I guess instead of LR MTG, it would be just more Cam playing Warhammer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that different from where we are now, really.
No, yeah. Yeah, it would just be more Total War streams.
And it would be James and Graham that are coming in at all hours doing LR MTG stuff.
Yeah.
And like, can we come in and stream it? Nobody
No.
likes that game, guys.
Yeah.
No, but I want to.
People posting in our videos, more Warhammer jokes. I don't get these.
so Heather, you went with solid colors. But
Well-
you could really use like something variegated or tie-dyed or whatever. Right?
Oh, sure, but like, these T-shirts weren't solid. They had patterns and things on them. You just can't see them now because the T-shirt folded in.
Too obscure.
Oh wow, that looks great. So what are these sandals like? Are these like slipper kind of sandal, like indoor sandals?
I think the cloth ones are meant for inside. They make other sandals in a similar vein, like out of straw, and they kind of make a similar thing with wood, I think. But
I mean, they
Those
almost
are
look
more
like bigger, and they would be like snowshoes almost, like if they were made out of like a rigid piece. It seems like it's almost the same kind of weave, just in fabric. It's a neat idea that the same thing can be used in all different circumstances depending on what
What kind of material you
material you
want?
make it out of. Yeah.
So what's up, chat? I mean, you got me here. AMA.
What color are you gonna paint the base?
I think we should probably paint them stone, like a grayish or like a sandstone color, maybe.
That would match the game, I guess.
Yeah, I'll actually have to look at the game tiles, and we can move on from there. I have a couple of basing kits that are, they have flat slabs of like, or scale slabs of stone on them that are useful for basing things like this. So we'll just see where we come down on how they should look.
Bosk has responded to your AMA by asking what color of sheets are on your bed currently.
I have kind of like these blue-based zigzag patterns.
We have blue sheets in our bed right now too,
Oh, nice.
We almost always have blue sheets on our bed, Beach.
except when we have gold sheets.
Yes, we have like 2 sets of sheets.
That's right.
So half the time they're blue.
More than that would be a useless extravagance.
Well, you say that now.
I
I'm
used to-
willing to bet there will come a time when that's not true.
I used to have white sheets.
Oh, white sheets are not.
No,
They're not worth it.
Bodies are hideous. Bodies are disgusting
These-
things.
People sweat at night in those sheets.
Yeah.
And white stains. Super easy.
You're saying your blue zigzag sheets used to be white? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
I have a question then for you, Cam.
Okay.
If your white sheets are now blue zigzagged, have you had Sonic over?
What have you heard?
Well, he likes to zig and zag, I think.
Gotta go fast.
Sanic. It's my OC Dark Sanic.
OC, don't steal. Original OC, don't steal.
Original OC character.
Yeah, I've seen that one too, actually. It's fun to say. I personally like saying you only YOLO once.
My personal favorite nested motto was anyone who says that they understand quantum mechanics doesn't understand quantum mechanics doesn't understand quantum mechanics. Alt, anyone who quotes Feynman doesn't understand quantum mechanics.
See, somebody asked what I thought was an interesting question way back in the chat regarding the painting, and now it has been drowned up by sheet chat, so I'm very sorry.
Oh, what was the question?
I can't remember, that's the problem.
Oh, I'm sure they'll ask
It
again.
was just above that, I thought it was...
Sheet chat.
Use an airbrush.
Yes, I have an airbrush at home. I mainly use it for vehicles when I'm doing miniatures or, model planes.
Paint some wicked wizards on the side of the van.
Yeah.
Really tiny wizards.
Yeah, when a buddy has me paint the side of his van in exchange for a flat of beer. Yeah. Painting fire on the side of somebody's bass guitar.
I'm still
My side hustle.
Yeah, yeah. As opposed to this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still so jazzed about getting my guitar signed.
Oh, yeah.
And when I hauled it out, she was like, "Oh, that's gorgeous." I was like, "Yes!" And I went back to Ovation's website,
Yeah.
and they don't offer that one anymore.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, "Wow, I guess they, okay, cool. They discontinued that exact color scheme."
Nice. Yeah, no, that concert sounded amazing.
Well, I bought the album on USB,
Oh, okay.
and she includes a few videos with it of what goes on at the concert.
Oh, cool. I'd love to see those sometime.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to share it with you.
Cool. Thank you, Beach. I appreciate that.
You know what? The chat's right. James has a van. Is that outside still? Can we take a roaming camera outside and start painting his van?
Yeah, sure. Get the primer can.
I mean, James is always saying we should just go for it, right? He won't mind. He'll
Yeah.
understand.
James understands YOLO.
I mean,
And if he
Ashley might
objects,
kill
we'll
us,
just give him ice cream.
Yeah. Ice cream solves everything.
apparently.
Ice cream paves over a variety of sins. Especially if those sins are being thin. Certainly helped me.
I mean, that would follow under gluttony, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because the sin of gluttony is not just being large; it's about
Eating the whole thing.
eating. No, it's about how you eat food.
Yeah, it's about excessive.
Whether you're excessively not eating food or excessively eating food.
How was that, by the way, Beach? It looked horrible.
Oh, it was awful.
I'm sorry. We that started off as like we should make Beach eat a jar of peanut butter, or we should make Beach eat 1,500 calories worth of celery, which we calculated to be 9.5 kilograms of celery.
I just thought the vegetable route would be a good one since the calorie limit.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, there's only so much food that can fit in my stomach,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I mean, we would have gotten you a bucket.
Weren't we trying to go for negative calories with the celery one?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I looked it up. Negative calories don't really exist.
It's just because of the whole zero-sum game nature of celery. As you eat it, you expend the energy. It doesn't mean that celery doesn't have calories in it. It just means that you're, But if you chop up celery really fine and then eat it, it's not as if you've all of a sudden taken nothing into your body.
Yeah. What was it? The only thing that you can actually expend calories by eating, or by consuming, is cold water.
Neat. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wait, you can expend calories with cold water?
To reach equilibrium, your body has to heat it up.
Oh,
It has to spend
okay.
energy to do that.
Yeah, that's why you're not supposed to, if you're lost in the frozen wilderness, you're not supposed to eat snow because it just cools you down too much. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yes, those definitely. At least that's what I was taught when I was in Scouts, survival training wise.
Mm-hmm.
Do not eat snow. Make a fire. Heat your snow up. In fact, make sure it's hot water and drink that because that'll keep you warm and it'll help your body retain energy.
Yeah. That seems reasonable.
Yeah,
I just decided not to go outside after Scouts.
that's a yeah.
I feel that was the correct move on my part.
I decided that early on in life.
Yeah.
My parents disagreed.
Put you in guides anyway.
Well, no, I volunteered for that. But, they say go play outside.
I'm like,
And it'd be
no.
really hot outside, so you just find like the nearest shade spot and sit there
Yeah.
wondering why. What had you done wrong?
Oh my God. Julie told me this story about her being sent to soccer as a little girl. This is probably her story to tell. Maybe I shouldn't tell it. But it's very cute. It involved her screaming, "I want to go to the library."
Oh, that's great.
I do like that throughout that entire planning process, because Beach had done the 1,500 calories limit.
Yeah.
And so the entire planning process was, what can we do to get to 1,500 calories? Right.
What can we do that's a good decision for
Yeah.
Paige?
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while I would kind of like bring up the point where it's like, we don't have to do all 1,500 calories, but that was quickly overridden by the rest of the group.
I
Multiple
mean-
times, I'm sure.
I mean, even if the rest of us hadn't overridden that, James was there and he was going to override that instantly.
Yeah.
I tried to at least gear them away from certain products that would really, really put you in the toilet.
Thank you.
Actually, some people were asking, and the evening after the Loading Ready Live on Saturday, James did indeed make good on at least one of his ice cream promises.
Yeah, I took some LT of that with my phone, so
Yeah.
hopefully that conclusion can show up in.
The problem is, James, even by giving everybody ice cream, he's still like 3 or 4 ice creams in the hole.
Yeah, well, apparently he still owes Adam a pizza,
Yeah, ice cream and pizza.
and he told Adam that he didn't, and so Adam went and found
The footage?
the footage of when he said it.
I paid dearly for that ice cream later.
Oh yeah, because you're like me.
Why
You're
did you get ice cream?
Because I was like, God damn it, I'm going to have ice cream.
I was
Like, said,
promised
James
ice cream.
Yeah, James owes me ice cream. And I went and I looked inside and I stared at the list of everything that was available. And I'm like, I could get a slush. I don't want a slush.
He let me get a milkshake.
And well, even then, that would have been the same thing. It's all made with similar materials.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, you could have gotten something else, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to get like a hamburger.
Well, no, but
So I decided
other
that I
things.
will try the ice cream and see what it does to me. Because I remember it not being a good scene last time, but I'm like, let's try it and make sure. And now I know. Now I know. I can't do Dairy Queen and I can't do Beacon Hill. And yet, I was eating like year-old Island Farms hard vanilla ice cream out of the fridge at work, and I never had a single problem.
Huh. Maybe it's the soft serve then.
Probably the soft serve.
Soft serve is cut with something, isn't it?
Generally, yeah.
Something to make it not go solid, I guess.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of talk that Dairy Queen soft serve, it's like, oh, well, it's not real ice cream, it's ice milk and whatever, but if you go to their website and you look up in their FAQ about it, they're like, there is a certain threshold of how much there has to be cream content, and ours technically does count as ice cream. And it's like 95%, something like that.
I mean, there was some discussion, though, that we were pointing out that the ice cream may not have entirely been to blame for your gastrointestinal issues that evening.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
There was what we would call
like,
extenuating
a
circumstances.
small amount of blame to go around. Small.
okay.
I mean, nothing that would hold up in court, but
No,
I'm gonna pull this
I mean,
rope.
I don't think it was 100% on you.
So what are you doing, Heather?
I'm gonna. I think I've gotten this
I'm so sorry,
As-
Beach.
as big as I need it to be. So I'm gonna pull the rope in the bottom to get this top.
oh my god!
I don't know why you're always so amazed by this stuff. Maybe I'm just.
I didn't
Used
know
to it.
why you had done that. I was like, it's awfully long, hon. It's not going to fit your foot.
Okay. Just. Oh, why did that bunch? What is that? Whatever. I will cover it up. No, seriously, where does this loop come from? How do I make it go away? Yeah, okay, cool. Then what? Then what do I do, book?
Do you need maybe some translation help?
Nah.
That's a spirit.
Need... I wonder if I have any yarn needles. Beach,
Yes.
can you get me my bag?
Okay.
For those of you asking about the We Play shirts, because I'm assuming you're being all like, oh, you can just do whatever with them. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but aren't those like printed really heavily on the front, like practically painted on?
I wouldn't say like super heavily, but they do have like a large printed section.
Yeah, so
That's
that wouldn't
The
really
screen
work
in
out.
which the prostate exam is happening.
Yeah, so that really wouldn't work out in
What was going on in this business when we decided on the We Play shirts?
It was very funny. A lot of people thought it was a funny idea.
Was it one of the ones where we like asked people, would you wear this shirt? And people were like, yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was. Everyone agreed that it was a very funny shirt. No one would actually wear it.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was the
that seems fair.
And compounded by the fact that at that point, the system we were using for short ordering, we ended up we had to have like the minimums and stuff that were a little weird, so we ended up with like 400 of them.
Boy. That seems optimistic.
Yeah.
I've come across all kinds of shirts online that are really funny, but I know I would never wear.
Like when I was just a wee edgelord, I remember tshirthell.com.
So what I made Beach go and get was my bag, because it has crochet hooks in it, which means it has yarn needles, which I can probably use.
Have you gone to $6shirts.com?
No, I haven't.
It is exactly what it says in the tin.
Mm-hmm.
They print T-shirts with all manner of memery on them, and they're all $6 each.
Oh.
So if you want a really cheap T-shirt with a really ridiculous thing, and you can't go to your local San Francisco to get one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they have all the latest memes.
Ooh, the dankest memes. Born just in time to browse dank memes.
Cool. Now what do I do, book? I'm just going to make you up. I'm going to weave everything in on the bottom. That seems like a thing I should do.
Yeah, kind of like a beaver tail thing going on right now. I like it.
I need to cut some of that. But I'll worry about that after I figure out this toe part.
Boba Rad asks, hey, Cam, do you primarily play 40K or Fantasy? What was your favorite Rules Edition?
I primarily played 40K. Wait, no, that isn't true. I played Fantasy the most, I think, actually, just judging by number of hours played. The edition I probably played most was 6th Ed.
I didn't actually know there were that many editions.
Oh yeah, I think technically this is like the Age of Sigmar is technically 8th edition Warhammer. I played High Elves in 4th edition, and then switched over to Dark Elves in 5th and 6th, and even a little bit into 7th edition. I really liked when they brought Battle Magic back. I thought the magic system where you had the pool of dice was quite effective rather than the cards. I liked that a lot. Yeah, it felt heroic. I remember playing a game where I was playing Dark Elves against ogres, and this big block of ogres had maneuvered in front of one of my spear blocks with a hero in the front because I was playing like a dark elf, like noble house. So I just had like straight, dark elf spearmen, dark elf crossbowmen, dark riders, cold one knights, none of the special weird troops. And he's like, do you even want to play this out? Like, I'm gonna trash can your mans here, and then roll up your lines. And I'm like, why don't you see what happens? And later, as we were cleaning the ogres off of our spears, he was like, I guess that's what happens when you charge face first into like 40 dice that hit you first. And I'm like, sure is. So my dark elves got to spend a very relaxing afternoon cutting bits off of ogres. Yeah, I think I started playing around like 99, 98, 2000, around there. I remember wiping out whole enemy like infantry blocks with fiery convocation in high magic, which was the spell list that was used by high elves and lizard men. Fiery convocation was a broken list. It was a broken spell. It was just a broken spell. You either countered it or you lost a unit to it.
Wow.
But it was no near as bad as Skaven.
That sounds like a skin disease.
Skaven are rat men. They're like these steampunk rat men that live below the cities of the Empire and below the dwarves. And they're totally sweet. They're totally sweet. They're actually like a super rad army. They're very creative. They're very different. They are like total bastards. And they're very, very uniquely GW because they're completely batshit. Right? Like Warhammer is totally batshit. But even by the standards of Warhammer, the Skaven are bonkers.
I remember playing Blood Bowl back in the day,
Oh yeah.
which is the Warhammer football game, which was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, the people have many warm memories about Blood Bowl.
But I played a Skaven team, and I got it to the point because you can get like upgrades and mutations and weird stuff.
Yeah.
That I could touch, like if I went first, I could get a touchdown
Yeah.
in one turn just because they were so fast.
Yeah.
Like I had one guy, it's like get the ball to that guy, and then he just bolts down the field, and as long as he doesn't get tackled or knocked over or whatever, he could actually get a touchdown in one go.
Yeah, you would have to go for it a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
Whenever I would try to go for it in Blood Bowl, which is a mechanic where you can take an extra move, but you roll a die 6, and on a 1 you fall asleep, right? Like the man falls over, and your turn ends. So like those are pretty good odds, right? Every time 1 when you try to go for it.
So I got asked if a crochet hook would be better than using a yarn needle, and I just tried several, and I just don't think I have enough of a hook to really grab the fabric, unfortunately. So it was a good idea. I tested that because that seemed like a really smart idea. I just don't think I have the right crochet hooks. So I'm gonna suffer this way.
Can you just turn your guy around a little bit there, Cam, so we can see how you're going with the blue? Those are his fancy pants.
Mm-hmm. He's wearing tights.
Fancy pants.
Of course, he's a wizard.
Or
Yeah.
or in this day and age, leggings.
Yeah.
Well, jeggings.
Yeah,
No.
these are actually jegging. If you look at the artwork on the Hero Quest box art, he looks like he's wearing jeans.
Oh shoot, you're right.
So these are actually jeggings.
Oh, so he's also a computer programmer.
Yeah, I mean,
You
oh
heard
no,
about that, right?
no, what?
There was the game dev Barbie.
Yeah,
She has just what you would expect somebody to wear.
right.
Clothes.
Yeah.
But somebody said, oh, they're jeggings. She's wearing jeggings, right? And some guy on some site from wherever, he's like, why would they give game dev Barbie jeggings? That's not what programmers wear. Programmers don't wear jeggings.
I'm pretty sure they wear whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's right. They
mean-
wear
Well,
whatever's most comfortable to sit in for a long period of time.
Well, like, gamer or Senge bros are definitely a thing. And I imagine that they police each other quite a lot. You know, after they go off to the gym to smash.
There was a suggestion about for a silver codpiece.
Ooh. Look, I'm trying to get this guy's thighs to glisten here, so just
Now the suggestion has changed to a gold codpiece.
gold, man. I guess like he's got lots of money to spend.
Can we get platinum?
He's melted down into a...
Oh, rose gold.
Rose gold.
Well, I mean, that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything seems to come out in it.
Touche.
Can we?
It's a miracle if some programmers wear pants at all.
I know
As
it might
insane.
be. It might be. Maybe that's too small of a detail. But could we give him an Apple Watch?
Yeah. Well, he's got rings. Maybe we can get an Apple ring. Man, I don't want Zapsworth to be a coding bro.
Let him know when
The
his,
the Apple
scratch
Watch
screen.
is implied. I don't know if it can actually be shown.
Yeah.
It lets him know when his Scryphone is ringing.
Oh God. Out.
I'm going to go to the ocean.
Get in the ocean beach.
That's not till episode 9. Only episode 8 came out today.
Oh, wow. You guys have a backlog.
Yes, we do.
Work line.
The
Little known fact: Corpline is done live.
Yeah.
by the way, someone was mentioning that they're actually currently on 9th edition.
Oh really?
Well, when 8th edition was the last before Age of Sigmar,
Oh okay.
and apparently some would argue that Age of Sigmar is in fact an entirely different game, but I imagine that is an entirely different discussion.
Yeah.
One with none of us are equipped to handle.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played Age of Sigmar. It looks kind of crazy in a fun way. I mean, I kind of wish Warhammer existed still. Warhammer Fantasy still existed. But I imagine Games Workshop hasn't yet completed the act of going to everyone's house and taking it away from people. So as long as nobody finds out that I still have my old Warhammer books, maybe I can still play Warhammer. I've heard from people that Age of Sigmar is actually pretty fun, if you give it a shot. But not having played it, I would not know.
Well, you're about to find out if it's good or not, thanks to the chat.
I'm sure chat has opinions.
Several of them. Conflicting.
Age of
The same.
Sigmar, more like Age of Sucksmar.
Sucks
more.
to your Sigmar.
Fragged.
Frag. Wasted. We need to get that that gif of like the kids in the rap battle where one of them's like just falls backwards and the one kid just like
Yeah.
slides across, only with like various Warhammer characters.
Some of the chat brings up a good point. That rope, the rope that you are using there, just probably should not go in a like dryer under high heat.
Oh, it's nylon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's plastic.
Which
It's
is fine,
polypropylene something.
Oh,
because at our house, we only get low heat on our dryer.
that sounds useful.
I mean, if you had high
mean,
heat, things might
I think-
dry out too much.
Potentially, if you really, really wanted to, you could probably braid some of the t-shirt fabric together and kind of make your own rope. I don't think you necessarily have to use this kind of rope.
We could get hemp.
Or
It's just, yeah, or
cotton.
string, or like
Or hemp.
kind of fine, or hemp, or yarn.
Yeah, and then you could smoke your shoes, Beach.
Yes. I used to wear hemp shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they good? Were they comfortable?
Yes. Mostly.
Okay.
Beach wears
I imagine
his
they
shoes really
breathed.
quickly.
They did. But I go through my shoes very fast, and my deck shoes I went through in about 6 months, which is on average to how fast I go through a pair of like good Reeboks. And then my hemp boots I got, my first pair I got, I wore through those in about 8 months.
Oh, that's pretty decent for you then.
Yeah, and then the next pair I got were really, really nice, and I had them shipped from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and they were also like on clearance, and they were great. But they lasted under a year, and then I bought another pair, and those lasted under a year, and then I bought another pair, and they didn't fit.
Mm.
And now I wear leather.
What do you think? Is that goofy?
Looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Damn it, chat. There's too many of you there. You're not supposed to see those things.
What'd you do?
How many
I almost used
shirts?
the wrong scissors.
How many shirts would you say are in each sandal?
Well, one of these balls is technically a half shirt, like 3/4 of a shirt, because I don't cut the whole shirt, and I don't think I used a full one, so maybe one shirt to a sandal, maybe less.
They're larges.
It's gonna depend on the size of shirt, because the larger the shirt, the more fabric.
I like that now you have all these, like, really high cut off 80s disco shirts. That Beige will now model for you.
If I can count on anyone to do it, it's always Beach. That's as far as it goes.
No, it isn't. It can't be.
Come here. Come here. I can't go over there. So turn around. No, that's as far as it
That's
goes.
as far as it
That's as
goes.
far as it goes. It's
Still has the apple
Beige
logos on
is wearing the very fetching leftover crafting collection. Hey, we're totally fine in terms of service.
it. Yeah.
He's not going shirtless.
yeah.
He has
In
a
fact,
shirt on.
even if he did, I think that would still cover the TOS area.
Yeah, it's an ideal underboob shirt.
I think that also fits. I like that you did get right to the very edge of.
Well, I mean, that's just where they put it,
Where the things
right? Because
are.
I went to just under the armpit right here to cut it. So that's just where they happen to
Yeah,
put
it's-
that.
I like the idea that fits. That theoretically that is how that shirt is supposed to be. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have to cut through the other one.
Beach just looks at it and it's like, no, I can still wear this. This is fine.
I cut through like 4 or 5 shirts. I didn't think I needed to do that one as well.
Yes, I have one of these at home that I really like.
I know you wear it.
Yes,
My dad would still wear that shirt.
it's one of my favorite
I-
shirts.
That it has side seams, which is why I left that one alone. Because I tried the side seam one. And it's
Who's he? Who
Heather
here's
was
dad
about
would
to
still
cut
wear
through-
that shirt?
cut up your favorite shirt.
No.
No,
I have one of these for myself at home.
Peach.
I was shocked when I saw it because I'm like, oh shit, what
So
if?
like this one, the black ones were Adobe Creative Suite 6 shirts.
It used to be
The
anyway.
the green and the blue are from like what was this? This is like the iMac.
That's an iPad.
iPad.
Oh no, that was an iMac.
This one's the
shirt.
iMac. I
Yeah.
think the green one's the iPad
Yes.
shirt. And what they were doing a thing where you worked where they were giving
Every
shirts with.
every time we did a school promotion, they sent us the shirts to wear for the promotion.
Yeah, and so there were a lot of shirts in the back, like extra large, 2XLs, and Beach brought them home because I was gonna do some t-shirt stuff, which I never got around to. So now I'm doing it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this rope in here. Might not.
Okay. I mean, I've finished the tights, I think. If we want to have a look on the table cam.
Sure, let me...
They're a bit dramatic, but then again, hey, why not?
I've got it too, if you need it.
All right, let's do that. Nice. He's
I
got
like
some...
that shine.
He's got some nice... yeah, he's got some muscles.
Yeah. I mean, they're all molded on, right? They're all
Right.
sculpted. So...
Oh, you think they're actually like part of the tights?
Oh, no. I mean, like, the sculptor got them
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he clearly did not skip leg day.
No, I mean, like, hey, he's an adventurer. Even wizards have to be in good shape.
Yeah.
Right?
All that running away from things, especially.
All right, so I'm going to work on his cloak next, and to give it kind of a more rich, dark look to it, like it's kind of fuzzy, almost, I'm going to give it a purplish undercoat. Like it's very luxurious. So to do that, I'm going to use a Leviathan purple wash as the base. And just a little bit of blood red.
Can you move your palette just a little bit so we can see that? There we go.
I'm even going to borrow a little bit of the blue that I used on the leggings here. And again, this is just the base coat. We've got a nice kind of, I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up, but it's very good on my end. And hopefully distinct enough from the leather we had earlier. Wayne. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of a red wine color.
You might need to take some good macro shots in this.
Not too good.
But yeah, we could maybe post a picture of the current status at the end.
Yeah. Maybe on future episodes, I'll be able to come back and work on more of these guys.
Cam, you are a delight. You should always be allowed to come back.
Oh, well, I mean, there are other projects that are needing of time. Hopefully, this is not the purple of the cloak and the red of the leather are not going into a Little Mermaid pink dress, red hair situation. Where you look at it and your teeth hurt.
Yeah, that was really a weird choice.
I mean, when you're an adventurer, you generally make choices based on utility. So he might have been like...
Do you really, Beach?
Beach, he's a wizard.
Well, yeah,
that's fair.
No, but there is that thing from like MMOs, right, where it's like
Look, yeah, it
it's
has
like,
it
this
gives
stupid
plus
hat
6.
has amazing stats on it.
Yeah,
I looked like an asshole,
but what are you going to do about it?
but I'm so much more powerful.
I
now.
dare you. I dare you to say something. Go ahead.
When I was streaming Diablo a week ago or so, I ended up I switched to a new helmet, and the helmet had basically no holes in the face part. Like it was just kind of a big metal dome that went over my head. I'm like, this is a terrible helmet, but
Yeah,
it has such good stats.
I mean, like, that seems like an important secondary feature of helmets. Like, enclosing the head, yes, important. Maybe the critical feature, defining feature of a helmet. But, you know, being able to see or breathe or, yeah, seems also like a critical feature.
Let's take another quick commercial break.
Okay.
Sure.
And we will be back in just a couple minutes.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. So, yeah, I've noticed people in chat were asking me, you know, how long I've been into miniature painting. And I mentioned earlier that I played Warhammer since about, you know, I got started in 97 now, I remember. And I played Eldar. That was my very first army. But before that, long before that, I was making model planes, which my dad got me into when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. And I've been working on them ever since. I mean, with gaps in between. I've recently tried to get back into it.
Was that a together hobby? Like the two of you would do it together? Or was it
No, that was, well, I mean, at first it was, but then it was like, all right, kid, go play.
you got this?
Yeah. He showed me how to use a knife, or at least how to build up calluses on my thumb in useful ways. So if you see me like cutting towards myself with a knife, that is the product of many years of practice. Do not do this at home, but it's better. It's better. So right now I am blending the cloak up. I finished applying the base coat, and while it's still a little wet, so I can do a bit of wet blending, we are going to start highlighting. And it is not super, super different from the other red on the miniature, which is good. It has just a little bit of textural difference, which is kind of what I was going for. Like, it is the same color, but maybe of a different material, which I think I like. I built 1/72nd scale models because I had small shelves in my room.
So
And they were also cheaper.
when we went on break, I finished putting all the rope in. You kind of see it sticking out a little bit.
Oh shit.
It's okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. Because I'll just pretend that doesn't exist. But I've got the whole shoe done up now. I've gone ahead and stuck some other strands in through the bottom because I'm going to try and make the thong.
Yep.
I'm gonna braid it. I figured it'd probably be easier to just put all three through and then braid. We'll see. I can't tell what the instructions want me to do anymore, so I've gone rogue again.
I think you have to start out not rogue in order to go rogue. You're just continuing along the rogue path.
They're my rules.
Taking another level in Rogue.
Yeah.
What spells do I get for that?
You get another sneak attack damage dice.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, rogue not a spellcasting class.
Yeah, I didn't really think so when I said that, but
You get special abilities, which are roughly analogous to spells.
Yeah.
You get to do a thing. A better thing. Dear white paint. Figure your fucking life out. Or don't. Just get on the palette.
is it dried out?
No, it's still in there. I guess it's drying out.
How long do paints last after you open them? Do they?
These are probably about 10 years old.
Oh, okay.
At youngest.
So if someone wanted to start, they could just get like a couple colors and
Yeah. Well,
go
like
for it.
these paints are probably close to 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
Are they still good? Yeah. Ultramarine blue, still liquid. However, this Vallejo white is pissing me off. What about you, Skull White? Maybe you're still good. Yeah, it's a long shot. No, you're good. Well, you're not good, but you're
You'll do.
operational.
Good enough.
This is a very nice experience. Normally on stream, I'm used to people screaming at me that I'm doing it wrong. I haven't noticed that this far.
No, no.
I mean,
Although they would like it if you were using titanium white, just because
that you're
of the Bob Ross connection.
Isn't it titanium white? Get it right, chat.
Actually, the Games Workshop should put out titanium white GHT.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I like that. I mean, it's a terrible pun, but
Well,
it reads. They're all terrible puns.
I mean,
Blood red, chaos black, dark angels green, orc flesh, flesh wash. I like that it's dwarf flesh, elf flesh, and not flesh. The old world is more inclusive than our world. Somebody who stared slightly mystified at flesh-colored paint for most of their childhood.
yeah, it's interesting that the Warhammer Citadel paints end up being, in some ways more PC than like old Crayola crayons or whatever.
Yeah.
What sucked is that, to tell a story of my youth, when I was very young, it was easier to color brown-skinned people because you would get a brown pencil crayon or crayon or anything.
Right.
But flesh was one of those like flesh tone, like Caucasian flesh tone.
Yeah.
It was one of those things you could only get if you paid for like the 40 or the 50 pack.
Huh.
I don't know what that implies socioeconomically either.
Yeah, that's weird. That's very rich theoretical ground.
But I always used to be really mad about that because I'm like, but I can't. I have to just be white, and I'm not white. I'm this weird like peachy tone. And somebody said, "Oh, well, here, color with peach," and I'm like, "That's not good either." And then they're like, "Well, try the white pencil crayon you have," and like, that's definitely not working.
Yeah, like I remember that. I remember having a He-Man coloring book when I was a little kid, very little, and trying to color in flesh tones with either pink or orange or yellow, and feeling such an intense shame at my failure to do so that I had to hide the book.
Okay, so this isn't just a thing that I went through then on my own. Like,
Oh no, yeah,
we all kind of felt the frustration.
yeah, inadequacy, confusion,
sure.
frustration.
I hope any of that came across without me being on a mic.
Well, I got it, Beach,
Thank you.
and that's all that matters to me.
Is this sized for your foot, Heather?
I mean, it seems to work for my foot, I think. I vaguely put it up against my foot, and it seemed good enough.
Nice. Did you bring any tabi?
Nope.
Is there a particular design to that strap you're making, or is it just kind of what you think would be good?
I just braided it,
That's
and
awesome.
I needed 3 colors, and I figured the green didn't need to be in there.
So then
It did come out really
and
well.
then you attach the loop to the front to make the toe bit.
Yeah, I think if I take a piece of the black and just make like a loop to tie it down, that'll work.
Because your toe needs to catch on it too. So
Yeah.
do you need like a thicker piece?
No, I just need to tie this down. Just want to make sure it's gonna be tight enough. Or maybe I'll tie that down first.
I brought in these chairs.
I'm actually going to tie it down slightly to the right so that it goes on my left foot.
I've seen this neat little trick that they do in manga, where the girl inevitably breaks her.
I've seen this trick too.
Yeah,
No, sorry, what?
she breaks her geta, and
The strap on her sandal
yeah,
gets
the strap-
broken,
the strap on her
and
geta
then
is broken.
she can't wear it because it's not tied down. And then the boy that helps her gives her a ride on his back,
No.
and they fall in love.
It's not the trick.
But it happens in all the manga.
Yes, it does. The trick I'm talking about is that the boy comes along that she's supposed to fall in love with, and is all like, "Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll fix this," because she's like stuck without. And he takes a 5 yen coin, and they use that. They take the strap back through the sandal. They tie a knot in it through the hole of the 5 yen coin, and then that way she can walk around for the rest of the evening because the knot and the 5 yen coin act as a washer to keep the thing from
Oh,
slipping
okay.
back in. It just means that like she can't wear them after that night because she'll just wear out the knot by the end of the night.
But it holds it together in the interim.
Yeah, it's enough to get you through the rest of the fireworks festival. So
I
then you
mean-
can say you love the other one while the fireworks are going off, and that way you don't actually hear it, and you can keep the manga going for the 30 chapters.
Yeah, that's a trope that likes to happen. They did that in Tomodachi Life.
Did they?
Yeah, because there's a variety when you have a character who falls in love and you make them go on a date and there's a timing game to try and make the confession work, and one of them will be during fireworks, and if you what you're supposed to do is tap on the me who's going to confess so that they'll confess when the other me is thinking about them. And if you don't, if they're thinking about something else, when the me goes to confess, the other person will be like, "Oh, hey, cool thing," about whatever, interrupting the confession. But with the fireworks one, the fireworks are just super loud. And then the me is sad.
I don't know how this color is working out. I'm not convinced I like this color.
Can you paint over it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
The cape color?
Yeah. It's being tricky.
I didn't know if that was an option.
It can be. But we'll see how it goes. It's a living thing. We're going to see
Paint?
if I can even it out. Oh, the miniature.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. So like Indian covered.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's the name of that, right? The Indian cupboard? That's that
Don't
book,
know.
movie.
Indian in the cupboard.
Indian in the cupboard. Yeah. The cupboard that turns the little miniatures to life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know it, but yeah. I think no, wait,
It's a kid's book.
yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I think I'm
They
familiar with
yeah,
it.
they did make a movie. I think there's like a couple books technically. Oh. I see. Okay. Lord Hosk has spotted that I have a countdown, a spin down die in my my crochet case. That is a replacement for my row counter. It means I have to either note down what row I'm actually on if I'm in the middle of something or finish that piece entirely. But I've been using it to count rows because I don't know where my actual row counter is.
I think I've saved it. Saved. I think I can see a way out.
Chad is actually quite likes the color of the cape, so
Oh, well,
Well,
good.
there's some people in the chat too.
They can get a good look at it?
Yeah, I think they've got a reasonably good. Yeah. Yeah, there's all those fancy folds are pretty fun to do
Yeah.
all the shading on now.
There we go. Just leave it right there. And there's focused.
Okay, well, I'll continue working up with this and seeing what I can get done with it. I think I like this, where it's going now.
I tried to put my sandal on and I broke the strap off. So I have to do this again.
So the anime thing is totally true, apparently.
I don't know. Nobody came and helped me. So
Beej.
true love not found.
It's true. It's true. You could have gotten a whole piggyback ride and everything.
Also a 5 yen.
5 yen doesn't get you much these days. I mean some candy, which is not nothing.
Can't buy you love. But it can rent.
You can in Japan.
Oh, God.
You can rent a friend.
No.
A
Beach?
friend, just a friend.
Beach?
You can rent friends.
I know it's not as weird as it sounds, but please no.
They can hear you.
That's good. I'm glad.
Renting friends plays into a primal anxiety I have.
Real Gamer Cow says, I'm afraid that Cam's innate fashion sense has took over and didn't allow him to paint it the real clown colors.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. I have no fashion sense. Also, I'm trying to make a man with no taste.
Like no taste buds.
Yeah,
That seems sad.
just explosion at the clown factory going on over here. Very sad, very funny. Have I shared with you my favorite Twitter search to do when I'm feeling down?
I'm not sure. Tell me again.
It is searching for people who are tweeting, but doctor, I am at drill. Thinking they're clever. And you get perspective. It gives you perspective.
victims of good timing.
Camera jokes.
I don't know, Cam. You said you have bad fashion sense, and yet everyone in the chat agrees that you have the best fashion sense of loading ready run. So it's possible those two things are true, but it doesn't really say much about the rest of us. So
I
there we
will
go.
withhold comment. Y'all are very well put together. I have better fashion sense when my clothes fit. Here's another piece of advice for you, chat. Never have your clothes altered when you are a 6-foot-tall man who is 135 pounds.
Oh dear.
Because you look real good. It means your clothes will never fit again.
So don't
You will drink a glass of water and your clothes will not fit.
So when you get right out of the hospital, don't immediately go to the tailor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, having a friend that constantly offers ice cream is probably not a great idea either.
Yeah, James is bad for that.
I'm gonna blame James.
Always
James
blames
is why I'm
James.
fat.
Yeah.
On the plus side, James is going to start offering me so much ice cream from now on
Hmm.
because I'm going to have to not accept.
Hmm. I wonder if we can get James to start offering us tacos.
I doubt it. I think we need to work our way up. Like, because ice cream's a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
So we need, like, a slightly more expensive thing than ice cream. And then once we get him on that, just up the price ever so slightly till we get to about taco price. Then we can get tacos.
We should buy him like an ice cream maker.
Well, did I ever tell you about the idea I had for the crap shot where James gets us the ice cream for filming all the crap shots?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Where James is like, hey guys, I heard you finished all the crap shots. Good work. I brought you ice cream. And he shows up with like a 2-gallon pail
Big
of like
4-liter.
like grocery store ice cream and like the flat bottom dust cones
Yes.
and like a jar of Blue Ribbon sprinkles, and he's all like really excited. And he spent like $7.
Yep. A whole $7.
And then everyone just looks at him. And the next shot is like James on the ground while we all stand around him beating him with the pail of ice cream. And it makes like the hollow thunk 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 noises from Rejected when they're beating that one guy who wore the non-silly hat to the
Yeah.
silly hat only party.
I really wanted to do this crap shot.
It's kind of mean.
Yeah.
It's a little mean.
But it works in universe.
I think it totally works in the universe.
Especially since we did a thing,
Yeah.
which I don't think is out yet, so I'm not going to say what it is.
People are still trying to figure out the decadence.
Oh, timeline?
Hosing off Herc.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah, it
favorite
really
one.
messed things up.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Boy, are they in for a surprise when they found out it means nothing.
Yeah. It means Ian was actually just hosing Alex off.
I think there was one person who did guess that. It's just like, cover one person, honey. Need to get them hosed off.
Yeah.
Yep.
But don't,
like,
fuck, we
yeah.
only have so much time in a day. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
Film it.
Keep the camera
I
rolling.
think that's essentially what happened.
I mean, like, it was more than that, but we were like, fuck it. Let whoever maintains the wiki try to figure it out. Like, we give a shit. Deal with it, nerds. Hard. Less than 3. We actually love you guys.
Yeah, there's only a few people who I know really work hard on that wiki.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do contribute to it, but I'm pretty sure there's only, like, I think, was it King Cool?
King Cool maintains it.
I
That's quite a
think
bit of work. And,
Mara Katz also works on it, I think.
yeah. It's been a while since I've peeked into the thread where they talk about working on the wiki. I like to peek into all the threads on the forums.
I occasionally lurk.
Also, thank you so much to the people who keep adding Corp line stuff to the wiki. That's a big help.
You put more thought into it than we do.
Our job is to stay ahead of the curve.
Indeed.
We don't have enough time to maintain a wiki on top of all the other things that we're supposed to be doing.
I can't bring myself to add things to it.
It feels,
I did a
whenever
little bit for a
I
bit,
consider
but-
editing like any of my entries, I'm like, this feels conceited.
Like self-serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have an entry, so I don't. But I went and did some of the feed dump stuff for a bit when I had more time on my hands, and then I had to stop. No, wait, not feed dump. The crap shots, because it was just add labels and stuff. That was a while ago.
I have Heather and I have a friend who is a Wikipedia administrator. Actually, I think he might not be doing it anymore. But he was one of the most prolific editor on Wikipedia for about a year.
Oh, wow.
Who wasn't a bot, because there are bots who make way more entries. Legitimate bots too, like not just shitty bots, spam bots. But he, we would talk about Wikipedia stuff all the time, and he would tell me that NPOV is incredibly important. Like neutral point of view, you need to maintain. And he says part of that is we can't have original research.
Right, yeah.
So if you have something you've come up with as an idea, that's great. You can't put it on Wikipedia because it's your idea. What you need to do is you need to publish it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we can link to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I understand now. So that makes me think whenever I look at the Lure Wiki, I'm like, I can't add new things here because I feel like if I'm making an edit that I am adding additional research because I'm too heavily involved with it.
Yeah, you're inside.
Yeah.
This is the guy who added something to his entry, and then they noticed, so they put what your wiki username was.
Well,
on it.
I love the fact that at least this was a couple of years ago. It's probably not the case anymore, but Lady Gaga said in an interview that she kept having to go back to her own Wikipedia entry and changing her place of birth. Because she was born in Yonkers, New York, but somebody did an interview once that cited her birthplace as Brooklyn. So she would go and edit her birthplace to Yonkers, and then it would get reverted because she didn't have a source. And she's like, oh, my birth certificate right here. And they're like, oh, it's not a published source.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love that. I love it so much.
Yeah, the published source thing is it gets a little weird because you have to, if you just say something that's not, you can't do it. But for some reason, if you put it somewhere and then link to it, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I've gone to Wikipedia pages where I've gone to forums where people link to the Wikipedia page and they're like, oh, well, this page says that this game coming out will have this feature. And then I've gone and looked at what the links are for the Wikipedia page to have it, and it's
just
Citing
self-referential.
Wikipedia.
yeah, it's articles that link to the Wikipedia page, and I'm like, no, it's not how this works.
Circular references are a big problem.
The
It's
first,
really annoying.
it's that first mover thing, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, it's proves the existence of God.
Like,
There must have been a first mover.
in my fourth year organometallics lecture, our final project was to write a Wikipedia page for something. So I wrote, my group, awkward, TMI.
That's part of
.com.
a drama growth.
Yeah, we wrote the Wikipedia page for, God, what was it? In situ spectroscopy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a cool project, actually.
Did they tear it down because you...
No, it was an orphan page for a while, but then people started linking to it.
Nice.
was it in situ spectroscopy? Or,
Did you have to register a username and all that?
yeah, I did. It's probably a terrible article, but we got an A on it.
That's what's important.
Yep.
I mean, that's why the LRR wiki started in the first place. It's because somebody made us a Wikipedia page. Like, we didn't make it, but somebody had put a Wikipedia page on us. And we were like, hey, that's cool. And then, like, a couple days later, it got deleted for being not notable enough.
Oh,
And we were like, what?
You're like, well, should be
Hurtful.
notable.
What do you mean not notable enough? Do you want us to, like, go through and show you all the things that are in Wikipedia that are less notable than us?
But you should, because Wikipedia editors love that.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so eventually in response to that, I was like, you know what? We'll have our own Wikipedia with Blackjack.
Yeah.
And so yeah, because I mean, MediaWiki, the system that runs Wikipedia, is just freely available, right? So you just do it.
Well, yeah,
Now-
there's wikis for everything.
Yeah, I mean, now we're actually on Wikipedia mostly because of Desert Bus, just because it's like a notable thing we've done. And there are news articles about us that they can cite.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, that was a thing where it was like how, you know, our popularity was like how much traffic we have. Mm-hmm. But they didn't think that was okay because we didn't have a citation for that. And it's like the citation for that is like our traffic records.
Yeah, but that's
It's not public,
that's a primary
though, right?
source,
So-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think, Heather?
I think it looks really good. Is there a specific part
No, just the
the overall?
the cloak itself.
I like the cloak.
I'm getting a lot of 1980s feel from that. That's
Okay.
really good.
I'd wear it.
Okay.
I mean, not out on like the bus or anything. I don't want anyone
No,
to
no,
think
no,
I'm
yeah.
a geek. But
Yeah, no, that'd be awkward. Is it in situ spectroscopy? No.
Oh, here we go. Operando.
Operando spectroscopy. Yeah.
Actually, when I lived in Edmonton in the middle of winter, I saw someone on the bus with like a really, really pretty green velvety looking cloak that they'd clearly made.
Yeah.
And they had one of those Lord of the Rings elf pin things to keep it closed.
Okay.
And I was just like, I could never do that. Good for you. And it's really, it was really appropriate because it was really cold out and it looked really warm.
I remember one time I was on the bus and I saw a guy with he had like a boogie board sort of thing, like a little wooden thing. We were going out kind of towards the water, and so I was like, it's a cool guy. And he looked like kind of a outdoorsy type, surfer dude kind of type, and he had like a boogie board and like a pole for this stuff. And so I was like, that looks like a cool surfer type guy. And then a couple stops later, his friend got on with like a big foam sword and other thing, and I'm like, oh, what I thought was a boogie board is actually a shield, and what I thought was like a pole for getting out there onto the water was actually a spear. And suddenly there's like this shift. It's like he's not a surfer dude, he's actually a LARPer.
Well, what's the
Still
line?
cool, but different.
What's the line from Commodore Hustle? It's like, what's a LARPer? Well, you know the guys that Jer hangs out with? They're the guys that they look down on.
The first season of Hustle is up on YouTube, right? It's in the Commodore Hustle channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, thank you.
Should be anyway.
Yeah, oh no, I went there the other day to the Commodore Hustle sub channel because somebody asked about that. They're like, hey, why don't you have it back up on, like, why don't you have it on YouTube? Because it was on Blip and now Blip is gone. And so I commented, I said, I believe it's in the Commodore Hustle sub channel. Is that what you're looking for? And then I was unsure because I'm like, well, it's not marked with season 1. It's just marked with these are the episodes. And my knowledge of Lure history is not that.
Apparently, only the first half is there.
Oh.
That makes me sad.
I mean, I don't think you want to mark
We should probably fix that at some
season
point.
1 with season 1 when you're first starting out. It's awfully presumptuous.
It's true.
All right.
All right.
I think. Yeah, that seems like a sandal.
Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Point out its charm points to me.
It's not an idle beach. It doesn't have faces
No.
for
What about-
charm points.
Check.
What about weak points?
Don't walk on nails.
Or do I hear
Okay.
massive damage?
Fire.
Okay.
Fire will be bad.
Neat. That looks really good.
Can you put it on your foot? Try it out?
Maybe. Last time I did that, I broke it.
Your foot?
The sandal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess as a minimum, we should probably test that aspect of it. If it's a sandal that can never be worn,
You know, if it's just for looking at.
yeah, it's a looking sandal.
Looking sandals.
TOS violation.
Oh, damn. Hang on. I need focus. It went between the toes,
Can you zoom out?
and it is... Yep. It fits a foot.
Nice.
And your heel hangs just a little bit over the edge, or just right to the edge?
It's just right at the edge, so this is maybe just a bit small.
That's
It
fine.
should maybe be a little
Actually,
bit bigger.
Considering you were just kind of eyeballing it, you got the size almost right.
Yeah, you
just
domed it right out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is it comfy?
I don't know. I can't put my foot down
Just
because
put your foot down. Here, we can look at Percival for a while.
I mean it's hard to tell with just one. It seems comfy. I don't generally wear thong sandals because they tend to like really wreak havoc on the inside of my toes.
Yeah.
Geta are supposed to
Seems pretty.
reach the very nearly back of your heel. They're not supposed to go further past your heel, apparently.
Okay.
You're supposed, when you step down on them, apparently it's like the very edge of your heel is supposed to hit the very edge of the sandal. Like it feels like you're almost about to fall off it. Kind of thing. I don't know why.
I mean, it seems comfortable enough. I can't. It's. You never try on like one shoe and walk around in it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. How's it to hop in?
Seems okay.
But is the I guess the thing is the softness of the fabric, because obviously with the weaving it's not like a super flat surface for your foot, but hopefully the softness of the fabric kind of compensates for it. Could be quite nice.
I mean, I'd probably wear it around the house.
You could polish the hell out of your floors with it.
Or break your spine.
Yeah, there's that too.
I don't know. I think
I bet it would be good for like hardwood floors and like if you want to slide around.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Ah!
given that this was like 3 hours of work for this, I think I'd rather just crochet something with t-shirt yarn than do this again, which I have to if I actually want
A full
a
pair.
full pair. This is the problem when you make things that are in pairs.
Yep.
You're not actually done.
Yeah.
You
Only
feel like you should be done and you're not.
and the problem is with humans, almost everything you make has to be in pairs. Hats. You gotta just only go with the hats. Because if you make a pair of hats, then that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Michael Jackson just wore one glove.
Yeah, there you go. He got tired of making gloves.
Yeah,
He was like, those sequins took forever to put on. I'm
yeah.
not gonna do another one.
Someone said I needed tabby socks. I've got a pattern for those somewhere at home. I should make myself some.
Yeah.
You can get knit ones, so they're more comfy. But
So they stretch.
well, because actual tabby are made of cotton or a woven material.
Denim.
No beach.
Rubber.
That's ninjas.
Mall
And
ninjas.
Those are tabby boots. Yeah, I don't think a real ninja would have worn those.
Isn't the whole ninja outfit based on Bunraku things? Like it's theater, not...
I mean, surely
Maybe.
the Bunraku outfit is definitely "Please Don't Notice Me,"
Yeah.
so I could see the application there. Depends on how far ninja go back, because Bunraku is an art that comes after Kabuki, and Kabuki was,
Curious.
come on,
What do I have?
after the Ashikaga Shogunate.
Hmm.
I'm getting this wrong. I just know it.
Oh, it's okay. I stopped caring.
That's fine.
I love you,
used to
Beach.
know that shit.
I people in the chat saying this is just going to turn into a sweatshop for desert bus prizes.
Not wrong.
Bluntcast, who is a BA Japanese historian, it's based on the stagehands wearing black in Kabuki theater.
Yeah, that makes sense. I believe it. Wonder if this hook is.
I love me some Bunraku. Made an whole anime series about a guy who is a Bunraku performer, and he walks around with his puppet, and the two of them solve mysteries, like murder mysteries.
Neat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting happier with this cloak.
Hey.
It only took me like 45 fucking layers.
You can paint my house.
Different skill set.
I need a bigger hook.
So, I mean, this is kind of similar. This is similar to other painting things, though, where, you know, like you're watering down the paint and you're putting it on in a very thin coat, and if that doesn't have enough coverage, you put on another thin coat.
Yeah.
You don't just go whole ham and put on a big thick coat to begin with.
No, because that way lies OOP Pro Painted listings on eBay. OOP, in case you're wondering, means out of print miniatures.
Oh.
And they're always terribly painted.
Yep. It means somebody's basement minis that they want to sell for, slightly above market price. Slightly above what they would have been new because they're painted.
Oh, right, because the pro paint part.
Yeah.
That's like an antique side table that's painted like neon orange or
Yes.
something.
Yeah,
It's
that
like-
somebody's put a nice thick layer of like baby blue latex paint on.
Yeah.
They're like, isn't it lovely? And like,
Yeah, it's like, well, I suppose I can strip it.
yeah.
My grandmother worked very hard on this. Like, that's a lie.
Really, did she buy her own giant bucket to dip this thing?
Yeah. That's a filthy lie.
I think
I'd be more impressed if somebody took an end table and plastid-dipped it.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Dave Barry article or something that was talking about that concept of finding an old piece of furniture. It's like, oh my god, do you realize what this is? This is, and it's like insert name of valuable hardwood.
Right.
Doesn't matter, you'll never see it. And then you take it home and you strip it off, and there's another different color of paint underneath.
Oh God.
And then you strip that off, and then you eventually realize that this is actually just a blob of paint that has been shaped into a side table.
It's like an everlasting gobstopper of pain.
Yeah.
Actually, the thinning of paint reminds me of an article I read about these guys who wanted to DIY paint their car.
Mm-hmm. Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I know, right? Because that way lies madness. And yet,
They wanted to DIY paint. Oh, their car.
Yeah. And it's funny because if you see people try to do like a rattle can paint job on a car, it always is awful.
Yeah.
But these guys came up with this thing. They're like, well, the problem is like I can't make a downdraft spray booth. I can't, I'm not going to go buy this sprayer and everything else. But what I need to do is I need to paint a part of my car that's on my car. So he masked everything off. And it was like the trunk lid or something. He masked it all off. Then he poured the paint he wanted, and it was automotive paint and good quality stuff. Then he thinned it out with spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And then he very slowly, with a roller, rolled it onto the car. And it settled as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And then he just let it dry. And then he came back like 48 hours later when it had actually dried. And he sanded it down.
Uh-huh.
And he did it again with the very, very thin paint. And then
Okay.
he let it dry for 48 hours. He did that 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Then he put the clear coat on, and it was gorgeous, like brand new.
Huh.
But I'm like, it took you 2 weeks.
Why?
But it cost him $50. So I was like,
Okay, well, I mean,
depends on
yeah.
how much your time is worth, I guess. Well, I mean, he has to wait for the thing to dry. That was the
Yeah.
most effort.
My hook is not large enough for this.
What are you actually doing right now, Heather?
I'm trying to crochet with it, but I don't have a large enough hook to really grab onto it, so it won't come through.
Are you
Sad.
starting another slipper or
No, I was just trying
to see what happens?
to see what it was like. Maybe if I cut it down. I'm gonna try cutting it in half. I'm done with slippers. I'm not doing a second one.
Old and busted. This is the new hotness.
Dr. Wreckage is asking if these sandals be part of my con outfit from now on.
I don't think they'll fit you. My feet are much smaller than yours.
Also, I have a pair of Geta.
Yeah, you do.
We went to Japan, we got them, and came home.
That's all we did. We flew in, we grabbed Geta, and we were like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we had a same-day flight. Save
Yeah,
save
I
50
liked it.
bucks.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money in Japan.
Yeah, me too. But I tried wearing my Geta for about an hour at a convention. Or 20 minutes, actually. And then removed them and put my shoes back on immediately. Because they were abrading the inside of my toes.
Ow.
Yeah. Turns out you have to wear them for years and build up a good callus. And I didn't have any band-aids to just put on the inside of my toe to act as a ballast.
Yeah, that sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, it was awful. It was just the fucking worst.
Noob shoes.
If I get some tabi, maybe I'll do it again. But we'll see. Ian has suggested you make a crochet hook out of the coat hanger.
I crocheted what?
A crochet hook out of the coat hanger.
Can you just slap Ian through chat?
Chat, can you hit Ian for me? He's more in your realm than mine right now.
Eric the Orange wants to know, Hodor, did we go to Nara and see the deer?
Pretty sure it was Nara.
It wasn't.
Oh, we went to that weird island.
Yes, we did. And they also had deer.
They wanted sweets. The island that was practically Canada, as far as I was concerned.
Is that like the island Graham and Kathleen, or not the island, but the deer that Graham and Kathleen saw where they brought back the hat? And the deer were like, hey, do you got any change? Basically, like they were extremely habituated to humans and had expectations about what humans would do.
Yeah, I say it's like Canada because everything they were selling as souvenirs in all of their shops was essentially had what looked like a maple leaf on it.
Well, it wasn't a maple leaf. It was just a Japanese maple leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But it's not the kind of maple leaf you see in Canada. But it looked very Canadian.
right.
When you walked past all these souvenir shops and it's like plastered with these Japanese
Yeah,
maple
horrible
leaves.
like tourist trap crap.
And I'm like, weird. But there's all these deer walking around, and because there's also these really awesome sweets in the shape of a Japanese maple leaf,
Oh, okay.
of course. The deer are like, I want your food. And there's signs up saying not to feed them. I think you're not supposed to feed them.
No,
The,
you definitely, I think, can feed them.
You're just not supposed to feed them your sweets.
Yeah.
I think there's like actual food you can get for them.
I'm having a hell of a time trying to find that island we went to.
Didn't it have the
Yeah, the Tori Gate.
yeah, the Torii Gate in the water?
Yep.
It was really pretty.
It's near Hiroshima, and I forget the name. I think it starts with an I, but it probably or an E rather.
Okay, so cutting this in half really helped.
I'll find it.
So I'm working on the tunic now.
One sec.
Yeah, he really looks like an explosion at the clown factory, doesn't he?
This is on the bottom.
He
that's
reminds
better.
me a bit of the hobgoblin.
We're
Yeah,
seeing
anyway.
anybody in?
His I think it might be just the that camera, but his gloves look almost sort of orangey a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's the camera.
Yeah,
The
'cause
color correction on the camera is not
it's not
accurate.
not accurate in that respect.
You know, we'll post some pictures. We'll get some Pantone swatches next to it, so you can do like your own color matching. That's what I love about like the deep nerd forums, where they're like the model building forums. When one of the nerds ventures out of the house and goes to a museum where they've dug up some like plane from a bog or whatever, and it's all preserved. And they take their Pantone swatches and take pictures next to like all of the like painted panels, so you can actually see and correct exactly what kind of color they are. So when you get into like an internet knife fight over someone over whether the fuel tanks or the oil tanks on the undercarriage of a de Havilland Mosquito were brick red or bright red, you can have like really good backup.
We went to Miyajima.
Miyajima?
Yeah, which is on
Yeah,
the
that sounds about
island,
right.
or we went to the Itsukushima Shrine.
I'm not repeating that.
Yeah, Itsukushima Shrine, which has the one with the big gate in the water that you always
Yeah.
see in a picture of Japan. We went and visited that.
It was
Oh, okay.
awesome.
What's the biggest thing you've ever painted, Cam? I mean, model wise, I guess if you painted a house or something, but
Like
model.
like the biggest model I've ever painted.
Yeah.
God. Probably like a mosquito, a de Havilland Mosquito, which is a Second World War fighter bomber, a British fighter bomber, in 1/48 scale. Those get pretty big. The largest, like, if you want to talk about meta thing that I've painted was definitely a Warhammer army. Right? Like, the individual models aren't that big, but
You painted the full army.
yeah, there's a lot of them.
There are certain like Warhammer tournaments that you can't enter unless your army is painted.
Yeah. I actually won prizes at one Warhammer tournament for my Warhammer Dark Elf Manticore, my Dark
Swank.
Elf army.
Nice.
And then I left it at a store and forgot about it.
The worst.
Yep. It might still be in a display case somewhere, but yeah, it's basically gone forever. But it was a really like pretty. I painted it up as kind of like an albino.
Did you sign it?
No.
Damn. Because if you ever found it someday, you'd be like, I painted this. Bullshit. And like my signature's on the bottom.
It's gone forever, basically. It might still be in the back of the like Victoria Games Workshop somewhere, but if you see like a ghostly blue,
That was in Victoria.
yeah, Dark Elf Manticore, if you're ever in Victoria and you go into the Games Workshop store, and you see like a ghostly blue Manticore on display, that would be mine. But that was years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they've gotten rid of it. They probably have policy on like how long a miniature stays in the display case. Or it can be,
Before it goes on sale.
yeah, before it's abandoned.
All right, so we're coming up to the 3 hour mark on this.
Okay.
I mean, we're over 3 hours, but we kind of started late. So, so Heather, you've got your shoe going.
Yep.
Your one shoe,
I want you.
which you then will have to replicate or do
Nope.
another shoe? Nope, you're
No,
not doing
dead
another one?
project.
Dead project.
Dead project. It's just a shoe for throwing if you want to insult someone.
I mean,
It's a looking at shoe.
it's a pretty good weapon choice, I think.
A shoe for beating your children.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, nobody beats children.
That's a lot.
Or
Nobody should beat children.
or what you do is you just wear that one shoe and you always have to stand side on to everyone so nobody notices.
This whole finger crocheting thing is weird. Not
Is that what you're doing?
It's what I'm trying to do. I'm using my finger as a hook. I'm not sure I like it. Pretty sure I don't. I don't know why I'm doing this. How you doing, Cam?
Good. I am working on my wizard's tunic.
Oh.
So I've got a base coat down,
Shit.
and we will be...
Oh. Apparently Julie was stuck outside.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
And she was talking in the chat, attempting to let us know that. And I was apparently ignoring it.
I was wondering what happened because Peter was just like, "Blah."
Oh, God. Worst boyfriend ever.
Too busy painting miniatures.
I'm glad I'm only doing a single crochet here. This seems...
Looks like you're gonna end up like tying yourself up with that. It's like a
It's-
it's like a finger trap.
It's working. It's just... It's really weird. Not sure my fingers were meant for this.
Are there more people out there?
She has come with, well, you probably
Hey.
know who she's come with.
Hello. Good. Oh, hey, Angela, what's up? Oh, doing well. Painting stuff.
I gave up on shoe after first one. So shoe don't work. Well,
Well, it might work. Did you try it on?
oh no, this works. I don't want to make another one. So, you know.
It's a looking at shoe.
No, you know what it is. It's a you know the hats they wear for the horse races?
Oh, it's a fascinator.
A fascinator shoe. So you wear it on your head?
Yeah, and then you sit with the queen.
Okay,
I like
can
it.
do that.
I like it.
Basically, is it Pippa? Is it Pippa with the weird hats?
Pippa had the one that... I thought Pippa's hat was like a toilet seat. Or was that one of the cousins? Was that one of Princess...
So you're already ahead.
If you tell people it's a fascinator, there's no way for them to prove you wrong.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Tell them it's not a fascinator?
It's like it's a weird thing you put on your head.
You could glue a mosquito net to it and sell it as a bridal accessory. It's kitschy.
Julie's got all sorts of ideas. Repurposing things.
Yeah. Upcycling.
Yep. Yep, the hot term is upcycle.
Oh yeah, no, we made it out of these shirts.
Yeah.
Right, it's a conversation piece.
Yeah.
That's like the bottom line of anything you make. It's like, if nothing else, it's a conversation
All
piece.
that's left.
People will ask about it.
Would you like one?
Like, why do you only have one shoe?
Here, how
And then
about
you can
your size?
explain.
Yeah, it's not a shoe,
Well, I mean,
idiot.
It's a fascinator for my foot.
Sure, it'll fit as a
I made it myself.
I mean,
Would you like to wear one? We don't-
good.
you
the,
don't have to
the,
go
the
with
finger
it, I
crochet
promise.
came out better than my attempts for other crochet,
I don't know.
but
this is,
it's just not having a big enough hook.
this might be too hot for TV. I don't know, guys. Are we gonna get?
TOS?
Yeah.
I mean, we could just green screen her out.
I mean, I'm halfway there. Well, I'm more of like maybe a quarter the way there. Oh yeah. Work it. Shake it like a not cured Polaroid picture.
I thought you're supposed to lay it down and don't touch it like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, the Polaroid Canon or whoever made Polaroid would like it known that do not shake a Polaroid picture like a Polaroid picture.
What about a scratch an unflattering mustache into its face like a Polaroid picture?
That's a off not explored lyric.
Yeah, no, is that a remix?
It's a NOS cover. I don't know.
I have to give Illmatic another listen.
This has been enlightening.
All right. Well,
we should probably
wrap it up. We've got the one shoe finished, the shoe fascinator. We've got the Warhammer miniature fascinator. Again, nobody can prove you wrong. Yeah, there you go.
That's so fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Oh, man.
To really be a fascinator, like if you like attached it to like a headband and had it like kind of over on the, it's got to be kind of over on the side.
No, I want
There's a whole Etsy shop for that.
I want to get a headband and make like a lot of tiny miniatures and just sew them on all the way around. I think that'd be really great.
That's a good idea.
I want to do that now.
I want to say that my friend Michelle, when she worked at Burger Lounge in Calgary, had to wear a burger fascinator.
Really? That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Now I just want to go home and Google Burger King EGL.
Now I never wanted.
That exists.
That has to.
I
Oh, it
don't need to know what that means.
Elegant Gothic Lolita. It's a
Yes.
clothing style.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's not Gothic Lolita. It's
Elegant Gothic Lolita.
which is different than just Gothic Lolita.
As opposed to regular Gothic
Goth soup.
Lolitas that look like they just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a specific style.
It is.
Yeah.
There's lots of it.
Oh,
but
I had.
we,
I didn't want to, but I did.
I do like your idea, Heather, of basically cosplaying as a full Warhammer army.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like there's a battle going on your head.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It represents the battle going on inside my head.
Yep.
Between Skaven and High Elves.
All right.
So we should go over those subs who subbed before
Yeah.
we go.
Yes, and I believe.
I heard people liked us
I
enough
think.
to do that.
Nope, these do not look like all the subs.
Oh no.
I thought Lurbot had grabbed all the subs, but this doesn't look quite right. So if the Admiral memo there, if you've got the list, perfect. Yeah, it looks like the list I have here is definitely missing a few. Or the list that Lurbot was telling me is definitely missing a few. So, this is good. Excellent. Thank you for recording those, Admiral Memo.
We have really good mods.
Yeah, thank you to our
Very,
mods.
Very glad you're here, Memo. Keeping us on track.
All right. So, let us do this thing. I can't really throw this up for you guys, but I will go through these.
All right.
Okay.
Batosia 83, a new sub.
Hey, welcome very much, and thank you very much.
Thank you for subscribing.
Your support is appreciated.
Deep Sea Fangly Fish is a new sub.
Oh,
Oh.
very scary.
Senstaku for 30 months.
Wow.
Oh, I
Thank
know
you very
that
much,
one.
Senstaku.
Shamble My Shark 4 for 8 months.
Ooh, that shark.
Shamble my shark.
It's a magic. Well, Shamble Shark is a magic card.
Oh, okay.
Empty Storm is a new sub.
Welcome, and yeah, thank you very much.
Hawk Tori is a new sub.
Wow.
Much appreciated. Wow, many
I'm
new
enjoying
subs.
the new subs.
Yeah. Splash for Mirrodin is a new sub.
Welcome, Splash from Mirrodin.
I'm definitely recognizing a couple of these names. People
Yeah.
may have unsubbed and
Yeah,
resubbed.
may have lapsed.
Or we may be still experiencing a little few issues. But you know
Yeah.
what?
Either or, we're glad you're here.
Either
Yeah.
way, it's great to be here. Plummeting Sloth for 34 months.
Woo!
Yay,
That's a
wow.
long time to fall.
Cheeto Jack is a new sub.
Thank you very much, Cheeto Jack. Welcome.
Decapped is a new sub.
Thank
to
you very
have you
much,
here.
Decapped.
Nubus Magnus is a new sub, so thank you very much.
Welcome,
Welcome
Nubus
to the
Magnus.
Carbonella Cookie
Oh,
for
hey.
9 months.
Ooh,
Thank you very much, Carbonale Cookie.
I like your name.
Double bonded to O.
Regulus Praetus for 6 months.
Fancy.
And some guy named Vox Lunch just subscribed.
What a chump.
Fox lunch. What kind of lunch is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, for
Sounds noisy.
Is it like a bento? Can I get it to go?
Can we get that guy out of here, please?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he's sweet.
And let me just double check to make sure that I didn't miss any here. Okay, I think
Loud bento.
those are all the people. Oh, some of these, yeah, some of those that I said are new subs are definitely not new subs, and they were recorded as with different amounts of months in other places. But anyway, regardless of whether you are new or not, thank you very much for subscribing.
Thank you all so much.
We get to do these things because you subscribe,
Yeah.
because you check out our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, which if you haven't, you should check out. We've got a new video up recently and some new
New goals.
goals, new tiers.
Hopefully no more tears. T-A-R.
Oh,
T-E-A-R.
I don't often hear you pun.
No,
Yeah.
because I hate puns. They're the worst.
What?
I actually feel bad about that now.
I made a really great one the other night, and
I
got
find
told
that
I had to go to the
implausible.
ocean. I'll have to tell you about it later because that podcast isn't up yet.
Okay. I'm sorry, Heather. That was rude.
Yeah,
And,
I know you didn't mean it.
And yes, so and coming up tomorrow, tomorrow morning, or tomorrow at noon, Heather and Kathleen are going to be
Playing
doing.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, I think is the full title.
I thought it was like #FE.
No,
What's
it's
a
supposed
Sharp?
to be a Sharp because they're idols and it's music.
Right. This is the one that was originally Shimigami Tensei, but then they changed it to Tokyo Mirage Story, which
Yeah.
is
Apparently,
SMT backwards.
apparently they were originally when they said they were going to do that whole thing of Shimigami crossed with Fire Emblem. 6 months later, they were like, "Yeah, this just looks like more really early Fire Emblem. We need to change that."
All right.
Toying with a fragile fandom.
Shouldn't piss off Kathleen. Atlas, you know better.
All right. Well, that's coming up on tomorrow at noon, so we'll see whether it worked or not. I'm optimistic.
I think it'll be good. I hope it's good. Bye.
Bye.
So thank you. Oh, and we'll throw up a photo of the shoe and the model that Cam is painting,
Yeah.
so you can get a good look at it. Possibly the model on top of the shoe.
Possibly.
So
We'll make it
I
happen.
mean, the shoe should float.
It's true.
Could be a boat for your model.
Could be anything.
all right. Yeah. Looking good. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.